And what has to be one of the most anticipated Mondays, after what we saw this past weekend in the shitty NFL, after what we saw with that horrible performance by the Eagles on Friday, college football over the weekend, holy cow. And, as always, drama. Drama with your Philadelphia Eagles. Hit the like button. Super chats go to the top. Now listen, I'm going to make this as painless as I can. We've been on this network late April 5 years ago, right before the NFL draft. And once you had this quarterback, Jalen Hurts, I told you from day one, this guy's limited as a skilled player in this league. He's limited. Everyone fought me. Everyone debated me. Everyone said I was fucking crazy. Your nut cells, all he does is win. We've been saying it for 5 years. And here I want to share something with you. This, my friend, is a present for all of you right here. Big Sills has a present for all of you to see. Dan Sileo was right about everything. How you doing? Look at that beautiful hat there. Look at that thing. Dan Sileo was right about everything about Jalen Hurts. How are you doing? He can't. By the way, the new reports are, it's now that Jalen Hurts doesn't want to run. Well, if Jalen Hurts doesn't want to run, friends, he's not an NFL quarterback. He's not. That 9-8 prediction doesn't look too stupid anymore. You got 2 collapses in 2 years. Someone's got to go. Hurts, Sirianni, hopefully both. How you doing? Sileo season. Okay? Yeah. What's going on? Hurts is now garbage? Wait a minute. What? Look at that bad puppy there, man. Dan Sileo was right about everything. And it only took a couple years. League's caught up with his ass. No question. He's limited. Now we got people like Seth Joyner, WIP, everyone questioning the quarterback's ability. You know why you're questioning the quarterback's ability? Because the talent of the team has gone south. Okay? Because the talent has started to dwindle on the offense. Set us free, deliver us Tanner McKee. Tanner McKee? You think that's the guy? Jalenites assemble. Oh, my God. Oh, the Jalenites. By the way, I made videos over the weekend. They blew up as well. Hey, look, man. No one's rooting against Jalen Hurts here. No one's rooting against him. He's just not good. Everyone wants Sirianni gone and forgets how he signed the cheerleader to an extension this offseason. Hurts is gone before Sirianni says, Senor. Look here, guys. You know what we're going to do today? It's not going to be a bashing session. What it's going to be today is trying to figure this thing out moving forward. Because at the end of the day, it's December 1st. If you start making fucking stupid changes now, you might as well fold the season up. This is too late. This is the chick you're going to the prom with. Whether you like her or not, you're going to the prom with this. You're not doing anything stupid. Nothing stupid here. Okay? This is it. By the way, you know what you're in right now in the NFC? You're in the land of misfit toys. There's not a dominant football team that's in the NFC right now. Anybody can fucking win this thing. Anybody can win this. That's what makes it so, hey, are the Eagles out of this? By no stretch of the imagination. But let's do this and walk back to Friday. What happened in that football game? Well, my opinion, the Chicago Bears took your asses apart. They absolutely beat the shit out of you. And if it wasn't for a brain hemorrhage by the head coach of the Bears by stopping running the football, they would have put 350 yards on you. They held you to 14 first downs. I mean, your running attack had 87 yards. Your running game is terrible. By the way, I've got some new numbers for you. You want to hear this also in pass protection? Who's been saying that Tyler Steen has had a good year? Tyler Steen is the fourth worst guard in pressures, giving up 27. He's the fourth worst guard. Did you hear that? And you know who the ninth worst is? Landon Dickerson. And you compile that with your center, the entire middle of your offensive line is getting destroyed. It's getting destroyed. Okay? That's right. Hey, by the way, it's a great take by Xander because the guy holds the ball too long. He holds the ball too long. He has no pocket presence. He takes sacks, and the offensive line cannot hold up for past 4 seconds. No quarterback's going to hold the ball for 4 seconds. Your quarterback is limited in the pocket. He's limited. Now he doesn't want to run. So let's get to the topics here. By the way, guys, appreciate it. Senor, thank you. Guys, do me a favor, hit the like button. Angelo Cataldi will be with us at 3:30. Gary Cobb, 4:30. And our friend Xander Krause will be with us right after Gary Cobb. Okay, so he doesn't want to run any longer. In my opinion, if Jalen Hurts doesn't want to run anymore and he thinks he's some sort of pocket passer or he pretends that he's some sort of Josh Allen, he's not an NFL quarterback. And we're seeing that play out. He's not very good. In that offense, that guy is not very good. Here, let's do this. Let's take a look at the drive chart that you guys had in this football game. Think about this here for a second. First series, Eagles. 5 plays, 15 yards. Punt. 7 plays, 39 yards, field goal. 3 plays, 7 yards, punt. 3 plays, 2 yards, punt. 3 plays, 1 yard, punt. 2 plays, 0 yards, interception. 5 plays, 92 yards, TD. 4 plays, 23 yards, fumble. 3 plays, 2 yards, punt. 12 plays, 80 yards, touchdown. 7 plays, 10 yards, punt. 6 plays, 36 yards, missed field goal. How in the world do you expect your defense to hold up when your offense is like a ballet routine? 1, 2, 3, kick. And that's at the helm of the quarterback who's the captain of the boat. Your captain is in charge of a shitty boat right now that's hit an iceberg and taking on water. You got the worst offensive production. You're 28th in success rate. And you pay $200 million. Enough is enough. I mean, enough is enough. Sills, Philly has been here before. McNabb wanted to move off the mobile and model after success. McNabb and Andy. Jalen Hurts has nobody. Might be a smart business decision, but no wheels. No new contract. Jalen Hurts doesn't have his wheels. He's not very good. He's Tyrod Taylor. That guy's not going to win you football games throwing from the pocket. He's not. What would give you that? And by the way, no wonder the Eagle coaches The Eagle coaches know this. They know that this guy can't win from the pocket. Exclusively from the pocket. They know he can't win. Okay? It's evident. They know it. They see it. And Hurts is trying to fight it. Why are you fighting it, son? That's who you are. He doesn't want to face reality. That the guy is limited himself. So he's trying to go out and do this. He's trying to go out and prove a point. I mean, he's awful. And look at it. Love M. Reyes, man. He's the ultimate cheerleader. He'll root on the worst fucking performance, and that's what that was. The defense gave up almost 300 yards rushing, and the offense was a ballet routine. And by the way, M. Reyes, you got fucking annihilated by the Bears. Scoreboard didn't indicate what an ass beating and belt to ass you took. Okay? Limited. They're limited because your quarterback's limited. Your quarterback is limited. Limited. Here, let's do more here. Let's go by the numbers here. Holy shit. Hey, by the way, I disagree with John McMullen. The defense getting destroyed, absolutely. But when you have 85 plays run at you, how in the world are you supposed to hold up to playing 2 games in 1 when your offense is so fucking terrible? Your offense, I told you 2 weeks ago, is systematically destroying the defense in front of your eyes. It is destroying the defense. And you're watching it. If I were you, there's no game this year where you're going to be, hey, we're going to blow that team out. You're getting fucking knocked off the ball. Your defense played 85 plays. The average is 60. 60 plays in a game. You gave up an additional 25 plays in a football game. 25. Dude, that's like 2 quarters of football. You played an additional 2 quarters of football. Hey, and you know what? For 85 plays, you only gave up 24 points. I'm going to take that. I'll take that. Hey, and by the way, you're shocked that the defense got killed? Why? You have 5 new starters on that team. Are you really that surprised? You got 1 brand new player at right guard, and you fucking suck on offense. I mean, what's your excuse? Oh, it's the play caller. How dumb is that? So if I draw something up on a board and I put it on a board, you mean to tell me that thing is a given that play is going to have success? Don't you have to have the players do it? I hope what's his name is coming in to be an offensive advisor. Hey, I know that things are going right now. You know how? I'm getting text messages from the Stanford Cardinal head football coach, Frank Reich, about some of the things that I'm saying on the air. And that is because the Eagles have reached out to them and reached out to him. Hurts is Justin Fields with a great front office and a better arm. Justin Fields is a better athlete. Jalen Hurts is a better all-around player than Fields, but not by much. He could throw the ball better. He is Justin Fields. He's Justin Fields with a better arm. And he's more durable. Other than that, I don't see any difference. Do you? I mean, what's the difference? So let's go to player. Caleb Williams had 154 yards, 17 to 36. Was he great? Absolutely not. This is a Jalen Hurts game. They ran the ball for 281, 2 backs over 120 yards. I mean, look at this. 2 backs over 125 yards. 5'9" and 6'9" a carry. Holy shit. That's belt to ass. Is Frank coming or he turned it down. No comment. No comment as of December 1st. There's a transition going on right now at Stanford. Let's see what happens by Friday. Okay? Let's see where they go by Friday. Sills, how would you and your teammates feel if Jimmy Johnson had left the Canes to take another gig a few games away from possibly a national championship? As a matter of fact, I think Lane Kiffin leaving Ole Miss to go to LSU shows you right there in a nutshell. The college football national championship tournament's a joke. I mean, Lane Kiffin was 12 quarters away from winning a national title, something he's never been in a position. And who's to say he's going to be in a position at LSU? And there's a chance that Duke or Virginia is going to be in the tournament because why? They have to give him a hall pass? It's a socialist tournament. Well, because the at-large teams like Tulane or some of these other scumbag teams have to be in a tournament. That's not the 12 best teams in the country. It's a stupid tournament. It's like a WWE wrestle tournament. That's what it is. Hey, let me ask you one last thing before I get back to the Eagles. So let me get this right. On game day, the agent Jimmy Sexton represents Kirk Herbstreit. And he also represents Nick Saban. And he also represents Lane Kiffin. So Kirk Herbstreit goes on game day and starts going out saying that Lane Kiffin should be given an ability to coach in the tournament with his Ole Miss team, even though he's accepted the LSU job. That's like saying that the CEO from Coke has just accepted a job to go over to Pepsi. And, hey, he's going to finish the quarter out. Those people are going to go like this. Get the fuck out of here. Going to be recruiting people to take with you. I don't need that. It's a competitor. You're in the SEC. Give me a break. Fucking dumb as that. Seals, the best thing for this team this year is not making the playoffs, so the front office will be forced to make changes. Dude, the best thing for this football team is to do this. Here, let's move down. Bench Hurts or fire Patullo. What's the best remedy for this team? What's the best remedy for this team? Fire Patullo or bench Hurts? What do you think is the best way to go? Bench Hurts? This guy never ceases to amaze me and how dumb he is. How about Howie getting them better players? You wish, bitch. Bench Hurts. You know the best remedy is? Status quo. Don't show panic. You're no worse or you're no better than any team that's in the NFC right now. You guys are still on the parade float. You're not that team. But you're like the rest of the teams in the NFC. You got victories over Tampa. You got victories over the Rams. I'm not going to make you feel good by giving you a football reach around and telling you your resume. I'd hang in there before you start doing stupid shit like what you're saying and suggesting. Those kind of decisions are for the offseason. By the way, I've told you from day one, why would you hire a coach who's got no experience in play calling? One day you're going to listen to me. I told you this in the offseason. Almost 90% of you in here told me you thought that was going to be a great transition from Kevin Patullo or from Kellen Moore to Kevin Patullo. You said that'd be a seamless transition. I said you're nuts. That's a different job. I said all the replacements you made, you're not replacing them guys. Sills, there is no fix to this. We're doomed in the offseason when Howie hired Nick's friend as the OC and kept the incompetent quarterback where we're in deep now. Yeah. Yeah. Well, he was looking at the 26 and 27 season. He mortgaged 2025. You know why he mortgaged it? He mortgaged it because there's no dominant team in the NFC. Howie knew that. Howie has just as good a chance to win the NFC as any team in the NFC right now, especially after what Carolina did to the Rams. There's no there's no dominant team. Apparently, Becton isn't happy in the Chargers cells. Is there a way to grab him with any loopholes? Also, we were the Giants on Friday, 2 100-yard backs. Dude, you were the Giants defense on Friday. You looked it was terrible. No team was dominant. Everyone has a puncher's chance. Agreed. That's why you don't do anything stupid here. You got to keep limping along. Hey, this is who you are. All of a sudden, what are you going to do? You're going to panic like you did 2 years ago in 23 and do stupider shit and then completely derail the team? You're right there with everybody. You're not very good, but you're right there with everybody. And I don't think anybody else is really good. I think the Rams are still pretty good. Hey, Carolina's got wins now over Green Bay and the Rams. That's not a sorry team. And they went to Lambeau and beat the piss out of them. So, honestly, I'm no expert, but Hurts has been carried by elite weapons and elite defense. He looks like Kaepernick. Kaepernick was awesome the year he took the 49ers to the Super Bowl. I mean, that playoff game, what do you have? 250 on the ground, 150 running? Kaepernick was a hell of a ball player. Okay, he was. I mean, I thought Colin Kaepernick was on his way, and then stupid shit got in his way. Yeah, well, I think being on the Jordan yacht and the yachtsman, and, now that he's a finer thing here now and hanging out and, making sure that, I'm the MVP and one of the Time Magazine most 50th respected fucking stupid people in the world. Everyone in Philadelphia has to kiss the ring here. And I'm now like His Highness Hurts. Holy shit, guy. Who the fuck is this guy? Holy shit. Gets his bag of money, gets a Super Bowl ring. All of a sudden now, he's His Highness. Your Highness. May I have a couple of words with you on the offense and how we're going to approach it? Yes, we can, my friends, but no running in the pocket for the quarterback, because the quarterback doesn't want to get the face and everything all, injured and things. Because I've got galas and galas to go to. Galas? I don't know. I've got places to go and I got Oprah to do. Hey, he's got a date with Oprah this week or some shit. Every team that looked dominant had a bad loss. Absolutely. Hey, everybody here, let's make sure that, the president sent me an invitation. Oh, tell the president to pound rocks because I have a gala at the Met. And I'm wear one of them weirdo outfits and go to the Met to hang out with all them socialists. Where we all sit around and talk about the little people in the world. And I'm hanging in my yacht with Michael Jordan. Who is this guy? Is that Jalen Hurts? Holy shit. Give him a little fame? Think it's gone to his head? Oh, holy cow. This guy's a blown up Tyrod Taylor, and he's acting like he's Tom Brady. Hey, Sills, I seen the video of the Eagle fan throwing rocks at KP's house. Not cool. Keep it football. Dude, that's so fucked up. There's a video of Eagle fans throwing rocks at Kevin Patullo's house. What's fucking wrong with you? What's fucking wrong with you? There's kids in that house. What's fucking wrong with you? Panthers beat Dallas 2, Sills. Please don't leave that out. Hey, absolutely. What's fucking wrong with you people, man? I get people on my Twitter account talking shit to me. That's one thing. Throwing rocks at Kevin Patullo's house, allegedly. What's fucking wrong with you? Honestly, man, You guys need to have a come to Jesus conversation with the police. Oh, by the way, those are all the Jalenites all pissed off because they think they're ruining their highness. And King Hurt. Hey, that's his name, King Jerks. They think they're hurt because they think they're ruining King Jerks. That's stupid shit. There's kids in that house. I'll tell you what, I'd buy a gun and blow your fucking heads off if you did that to my family and threatened my family. What's wrong with you people, man? Coming there throwing rocks at a house with kids in the house because you don't like the play calling? What is wrong with you? I mean, keep it sports, dude. I've been saying it, Prescott over Hurts. Dak Prescott is a superior passer than Jalen Hurts will ever be. Okay? Everyone in the NFC is 5 plays and a turnover from winning the conference. Great take. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Okay? Absolute. Seals, big tea party at the Met. A beautiful gala and a big lobster for His Highness. And then there's a tour of the Michael Jordan yacht. And then him and Jeffrey Lowy are going to go to Cannes together. And they're going to put out the documentary, How Jalen Hurts is Jalen Hurts. And they'll sit there with, all the big wigs in Hollywood, like Robert De Niro and Tom Cruise, and they'll hang out there and, hey, what happened in the football season? Fuck it. Don't worry about it. I got an MVP. I'm good. Hey, you talk about shit going to your head, son. I don't want to run anymore. Bro, you don't run. You're not a quarterback. You don't play on time. You take sacks. Your offensive line is getting destroyed because of your inability to be able to throw the ball in the pocket. You got wide receivers throwing their fucking hands up every single series because you can't complete a pass. Seals, I'm one of the biggest Hurts guys out there, but I've been really disappointed in his output this year, especially the last 4 weeks. Only thing I disagree with you is on saying Barkley's washed. Okay, well, let's do this about Barkley. So, Barkley washed. Yes or no? I heard John say this, that it's the old line. Nothing wrong with Barkley. I think it's the inability in the passing game and the horrible offense. Line. And I think there is some tread off the tires. You'd be stupid to think 460 carries is not going to have an effect on a 27, 28-year-old back who's had 3 knee injuries in the last 6 years. I told you this before. Unfortunately, I was a year off. I didn't think he was shit in New York anymore. Last year, great year. It was like a Chris Jones year. Chris Jones had $2,000. He was a really good back. After that, he was okay. He was like 1,000 yards. Do you realize to get 1,000 yards in this league, all you have to average is 61 yards a game? 61 yards, you call that an elite back? Well, he gains 1,000, so he gets 60 yards a game at 3.7 a carry. Is that elite? I don't know. Sounds common to me. Okay? Barkley benefited from Hurts running and his threat with his legs. And Hurts isn't running. Oh, my God. That's the best thing you can say. Xander, one of the reasons why Barkley's not running the ball is because Hurts isn't. That's right. That's totally why he gained $1,000 a year ago. It's almost like Jalen Hurts doesn't want Barkley to be the star of the team again, so he's not running. And the threat of him running is not there. Coordinators know it. Wink Martindale told him 2 years ago that. Okay? Barkley has more commercials than yards. I see him doing them commercials. Good. Hey, good for all the movie stars. I mean, guys won the Super Bowl. All movie stars now, I see all the guys. I see A.J. Brown up there, on the treadmill doing shit. Guys got it going on. He got a bunch of movie stars. Too bad you don't have a good football team. Barkley had one of the greatest seasons in NFL history. That's no scrub feet. Correct? Correct. Bad fucking take on Hurts. That dude is super humble. He's been playing ass. I think it's a combo of the O-line playing. Yeah, okay. Really? Telling your coaches to take one of the biggest things that you do well away because you don't want to run the ball anymore. And you think you're going to win from the pocket? You're not going to win shit from the pocket. His inability to be able to play on time and in the pocket. Dude, he's not an NFL quarterback if he can't run. I'm not sure Lamar Jackson is. I'm not sure Josh Allen is. Big Sills, I froze my balls off watching the BTA Friday. Patullo is a turd. Now, Hurts has not been good. I do know that. But this scheme and culture is trash. That being said, Patullo and Nick need to go. I've seen what I need to know. Xander, I've missed 2 supers. Guys, I appreciate you in here using the supers. Thank you very much. When is the earliest we can get rid of Hurts' contract? I think you got 2 more years before you can even review it, and that it wouldn't be. And by the way, let's not forget something. He's got a no trade in that bitch. That guy, you're not getting rid of him unless he goes like this. Yes, I'll leave when I want to leave. You can want Hurts gone all you want. Without him and Nicole saying, and Clutch Sports has got you by the yin-yang. I mean, they got final say. Howie doesn't even have final say. The owner of the team doesn't have final say. They got you by the yin-yang with Hurts. Yin-yang. Well, we'd like to move off of you. Yeah, where? Tennessee. No. Think again. Okay? Michael had a new opinion on the Birds offense. He thinks it's so conservative because Nick was on the hot seat. Offense changed, his job was safe. Yes. Well, when they got Kellen Moore, changed his job, actually. 49er frauds, 9-4. Well, you always, get this, always be worried about a football team until they play someone of significance that was in last place a year ago. Always remember that. Patriots were in last place. The Colts were in last place. The 49ers were in last place. The Bears were in last place. Always be concerned about that until they play someone of significance. Like the Bears beating the Eagles on Friday was a huge win. It kind of validates them getting better. You're beating all them shitty teams, so I don't really know. Seahawks and Rams are the best teams in the West, in my opinion. Okay? 49ers, I don't know. Contracts like Hurts kills the NFL teams. Yeah, because it's an anchor around your neck. By the way, this shit about firing Kevin Patullo on December 1? Are you fucking crazy? Fire Kevin Patullo for who? Nick? You got a better chance of winning the Super Bowl with Patullo than you do with Nick calling plays for you. Don't do anything stupid. You're still in the room with the rest of those NFC teams. Nobody's dominant. You start doing stupid shit, you will self-implode again. And it will be a 23 meltdown. But what's happening is, you know why everyone wants to fire Patullo? Why do you think everybody in Philly, not everybody, why do you think half the room wants to fire Patullo? Why do you think? Can you tell me why you think people would want to fire Kevin Patullo? Why do you think teams or people in Philly want to fire Kevin? You know why? Because it gives you a self-made-in excuse why Hurts is not playing well. It must have been the coordinator. And it masks the shitty play of the quarterback. That's why you want to fire Kevin Patullo, because you need somebody to blame. Take a look at my X account, at Dan Sileo Show. Look at what the people are throwing at me for pointing out the facts. And all you have to do is use your eyeball test. Racist here, I mean, Hurts hater. Watch the fucking games. Just watch the games. You're 28th in third down. You're 26th in passing. You're 25th in rushing. And you have a $200 million payroll on offense. You tell me. I mean, what excuse do you want to make? This is what you are. And you made one change on offense, the right guard. And by the way, in the last 4 years, you made changes at that with Isaac Seumalo, with Cam Jurgens, with Mekhi Becton. You've had 3 different guys. You've had just as many, get this, you've had just as many right guards as you've had running backs in the last 5 years. What happened? Fire Kevin is the tip of the iceberg. Yeah. By the way, how can you have so much experience on offense with all those players and have such limited coaches? I mean, why would you have limited coaches there? So get this, you hire a college coach for the quarterback job. You elevate a guy who's never had a real position job to OC, and you have a coach who's only dealt with drop back quarterbacks. And you hire a guy who's never called plays? Why? How about this? What's the analytics that says that works? Screw Patullo. Where's Frank? He's got transition he's doing there with Andrew Luck and they just got beat by Notre Dame over the weekend. Give it a week. Okay? Frank's busy being 4-8 at Stanford. Oh, I was under the impression that Stanford was a national power. Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, because Stanford has been in the national championship conversation for the last 78 years. Yeah. You're making Stanford sound like it's Temple? Oh, wait, they are Temple. They're Temple of the West Coast. Look at M. Reyes pretending that Stanford is what? Oregon? Since when? I mean, if you win 7 games at Stanford, they'll build statues over you. What the fuck are you talking about, Stanford? 4-8? That's actually a good season. Okay? Eagle fans caught throwing right. Yeah, I mean, no. Jalen Hurts fans. Let's just put this distinction. That's not Eagle fans. Those are Jalen Hurts fans. That's not Eagle fans. True Eagle fans are not going to throw rocks at somebody's house. Okay? Those are Jalen Hurts fans throwing rocks at Kevin Patullo's house. Let's clarify that. Unfortunately, Eagle fans are going to get killed for that. Well, that's Jalen Hurts fans. Those are the Jalenites throwing rocks at Patullo's house. Okay? True Eagle fans just going to go like this. This thing will play itself out. He'll get his ass fired. 2 years from now, they'll move off for Hurts. Eagles fired to sign 23, replaced him with Matt Patricia, and the defense fell apart. Even harder, things can always get worse. This is lose-lose. That's why stay status quo. Don't do anything stupid. You're 8-4. You're in the conversation. You're like a game back. I mean, by the way, Chicago's number 1 in the playoff race right now is insane. But again, it didn't come up until that game on Friday against Philadelphia where I didn't believe them. Shit, John had a double-digit ass kicking by the Birds on Friday. And they took them apart. That offensive line beat the Philadelphia. Hey, I haven't even got here. Where is that? Is that on my list? No, I'm going to add this. Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter should wear masks this week so nobody knows who they are. When, as I like to say, when you got your paycheck on Tuesday of this week tomorrow, you should go in with your hand out and your head down and one hand behind your back to get your paycheck. Because you stealing money right now. Those two guys got fucking destroyed. I watched the 22. They were fucking destroyed. Jalen Carter, really? That was embarrassing. I mean, embarrassing. Taken to the woodshed. You're going to pay that guy 32 to 35 million bucks? Okay? I mean, right? They just got their heads kicked in. And Jalen Phillips, too. So they should put a Amber Alert out for Davis and Carter. Seriously, man. Put them on a milk carton. Put their pictures up at Wawa. Have you seen these two tackles? Because the Bears, I think they kidnapped them. Holy cow. You talk about getting your ass kicked. Stunned. Because it was from the first play to the final play. They got killed. They just got killed. Says KP is over his head, but KP is not the reason Hurts doesn't. Hoss, Kevin Patullo, listen, if you want to fire him, doesn't really matter, does it? Ask yourself this. If you fire Kevin Patullo, you think that's going to change the outcome of the offense? Let's ask that question. Do you think if you change the offensive coordinator to Nick Sirianni, you think that changes it and gets it better? Where do you think that? Who are you changing it to? I mean, not to Nick. Have you ever in your life, let me hook you guys up, Eagle fans, have you ever heard of a football team in the month of December firing a coordinator, going out of the building, and then bringing him in to be the new coordinator? That shit only happens in college. You know that shit that's going on with Lane Kiffin? Even the NFL doesn't allow you to talk to coaches during playoff stretch runs. That's how fucked up college football is. You could talk to another coach who's got a team in the playoffs and hire him. You can't do that in the NFL. That doesn't happen. You don't just go, let me hire a coordinator. December 1? You're going to fire a coach, bring a guy from outside the organization who doesn't even know the personnel. That's what you're going to do? No way. Rumor has it Hurts was with two fans at Patullo's house to throw rocks. Oh, my God. So, like, you're basically telling me it's like that movie that Tom Cruise was in when he was, like, real young. All the Right Moves or something like that. They were throwing rocks at the coach's house. I believe that was in PA, too, that they did that, but it was around Pittsburgh, right? What was that? I forget. It was outside of Pittsburgh. Are we tired, arrogant, or just ass? I think all of it. I think all of it. Jalen won a national championship at Alabama. When was that? Oh, that's right, riding the bench. The only way it gets better is with an RPO play caller. Jalen Hurts doesn't want an RPO play caller. Now, you're not listening to Jeff McClain? By the way, that's not a big Sills take. Jeff McClain is now saying that. Jeff McClain is saying that Jalen Hurts doesn't want any run games, or he doesn't want anything in the run game. I don't want anything in the run for me now because, same with Jimmy Kimsky from Philly Voice. Both reported it. Hey, yeah, that ain't a big sales thing. You got now people that cover the team where it is. By the way, where do you think that word is comes from? That's Bob Lang special. The organization is protecting the coaches. Why? Because the players are replaceable. Ask Carson Wentz. Coaches are ownership decisions and GM decisions. Players are replaceable. You've been doing it since you won your first Super Bowl. You've been changing coaches out. You've been changing players out. I mean, let's see. How many offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators have you changed since 2021 when Nick got here? Let's see. Gannon? Steichen? Desai? Patricia? Moore? Johnson? Patullo? Let's see here. Nick? So since 2021, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you've got 9 coordinator changes. I don't know. What do you think? They think that's a deal? 9 coordinator changes in 5 years. You tell me if you think the organization is arrogant or not. They did it with Kellen. Kellen Moore was a terrible coordinator. What did he coordinate? Here's Saquon. Here's Saquon. Here's Saquon. Here's Saquon. Here's Saquon. I mean, your passing offense was 28th then. It's 28th now. Where in the world are you saying that he helped in the balancing of the team? And what metric? Offense has been top 10 in points per game and yards per game since Hurts became a starter. This year it's 20th in PBG and 24th in YPG. But Hurts is the main problem. Okay, so wait a minute here. Is he not the starting quarterback and the leader of that offensive attack? Yes or no? So wait, you're going to sit here and glaze his ass when things go well, but when shit goes bad, he's on a boat by himself? Standard Hurts Jalenite. Okay? Standard Hurts Jalenite. Sitting there blaming everybody else but the quarterback. He's limited. I don't know how many times I got to tell you. And by the way, he's even more accentuated limited because he's got shitty coaches around him offensively. Okay? Also, Sills, Brian Johnson, Alex Tanay, Doug Nussmeier, Scott Loeffler, all different quarterback coaches. I mean, where are we going here? The organization has no problem for us changing all those guys out. They believe what they're in the mix. You guys want to make some changes now? They don't believe in, they're nowhere near that. First question asked in the post games on Friday. Are you going to make a play calling change? What will that matter? What will that matter? Make a play calling change? Jesus criminy. Did it ever dawn on you that, hey, let me say this. So Jalen Hurts can't withstand a different play caller. Matthew Stafford's had the same guy. Baker Mayfield hasn't. By the way, both his last two coordinators have football teams that are potentially going to the playoffs. And Liam Cohn and also Dave Canales. I don't know. Doesn't seem to be affecting him. Injuries on that team are affecting that team. You don't give Hurts credit when the offense is good because he's limited. And by the way, we do give him credit. I told you he has one of the top 5 resumes in all of pro football. When you're talking about the most accomplished quarterbacks in the NFL, you can never have him out of your top 5. But when you're talking about skill set, that guy's top 15 at best. He doesn't play on time. He takes sacks. He holds the ball too long. And he's inaccurate as fuck. Every fan enters the year with Super Bowl aspirations, especially coming off a Super Bowl win. As you should. Sills hates the guy. Hate the guy. I don't give a fuck about the guy. Dude, honestly, I could care less. I'm not like that. If I don't know you or never met you, I don't hate anybody. How would I? Unlike some of you assholes that never met people and you hate them. I don't know how. I've never understood that mentality. Hey, I haven't met the guy, but I hate his guts. You never met him? Oh, how do you know who he is? Oh, I just know. Oh, that means you're sheep. Sheep follow. And that's what the Jalenites do. They go to the kingdom of Novacare. And there he is. I do not want to run any longer because I got to get to my yacht. Jeffrey's yacht and Michael Jordan's yacht. Because I'm the face. That's the face of Jordan. Hey, MJ, this just in. You might need a new dude. The face of Jordan with the 28th ranked passing offense. That's the face of Jordan? All right. Those are like the clearance sneakers that you get over at like Toys R Us or some shit. These are the knockoff Hurts. Yeah, they're on special holiday rates. 28 cents. Why is it 28? Because that's what their offense is ranked. You can buy the shoes for $28. Hurts wearing down O-line from holding the ball for 10 seconds per play and Barkley being exposed due to Hurts is not running. Doesn't make any sense. Completely true. I say Hurts should be benched if he loses the next 2 games. Definitely against the Raiders. He's limited the team and holding the team back. By the way, this Charger team's won 5 of 7. Heading into this game with a quarterback with a broken hand. You better beat this team. Oh, my God. By the way, Derwin James is coming to town. Ooh, yeah, that guy can play. He's one of my favorite players. Oh, see how AJ coming across the middle? Yeah, might want to duck. Yeah. Homie can play. Homie can play, man. Yeah, Derwin James patrolling that back there in the safe. Hey, by the way, Reed Blankenship, you want to see how to play the safety position? You watch my boy from Florida State. Homie can play. It's like Cam Chancellor back there. Guy's a missile. Okay? Eagles Insider says it's on Hurts. They can't open the playbook because he's limited and struggles reading defenses. Hey, Xander, can I have the hat again? See this right here? Can I have the hat again? I just want to put the hat up there for a second. It's so right. See this right here? I'm going to read it again one more time here. Eagle Insider says, Eagle Insider? Okay. So this has gone on 5 years ago. The Eagle Insider now, get this, Xander. An Eagle Insider says it's on Hurts. They can't open the playbook because he's limited and struggles reading defenses. They have to simplify everything. Wow. What a fucking epiphany. Woo. Thanks, E. Oh, my God. Yeah, there it is. Hey, that hat would look good right now on Hurts. Holy cow. Interesting hat. Of course, Stunads would read more into it. And just in case you're keeping score, Stunad in Italian, Domias. Domas. Yeah. No, he's not. He's not. I actually think Jalen's pretty smart. So is that he resorting. Yeah, no, none of that. I can't go down that lane. You're running for president, Sills? Big Sills is right about everything. How you doing? Hold on. We missed the super? We'll get it up there, homie. I think we could say that here. We're all good. By the way, Angelo Cataldi at the bottom of the hour. How you doing? Was Philly 500 picked up his prescription for Prozac yet? Hey, he did send me something, though. He did send me something for the month of December. Oh, I still have it. Okay. Here. Okay, here, right here. Official soft drink of the Dallas Cowboys. It's December. Choke. I think. Yeah. I sincerely don't understand what they are doing differently scheme-wise. When Jalen was in an MVP conversation, he has the guy taking steps backwards. Totally true, my friend. It's because they don't hire coordinators for Hurts. They hired the coordinator for Nick. We got Mr. Limited instead of Mr. Unlimited. Yeah, hey, Z, I missed that $5 super, I believe. Oh, no, okay, we got it. We got it, I believe. Yeah, we got everything. It's December. It's choke month. That's what 500. He sent me that this morning. It's choke month. It's December for the Cowboys. That's true. Bear fans watch head coach fired. Now he's a genius. I mean, I think Ben Johnson is a genius. Eagles offense held hostage by Hurts. And the Met Galas. No. See the president and, been invited. I couldn't make that because I had a gala that I had to get to in New York City. And I had to hang out with, who am I hanging out with? I'm hanging out with Jay-Z and, Oprah and all that shit. And, teams at the White House. Not him, though. Hell no. Kidding me? Shit. I got a yacht to get to in the French Riviera. Hang out there with Jordan. Let me hook you up with something. MJ Hurts. Which one doesn't fit? Mr. Limited, Mr. Unlimited. I don't know. Mr. Unlimited versus Mr. Limited. Colts fans are trashing Shane Steichen right now. Well, let's take a look at that. So Colts fans who have had a monster 10 years of success, boy, they're trashing Shane right now. So let's take a look at that right now. And they're trashing him. Shit, the Colts right now are still in the 6 hole. And they're tied with the Jags. Holy cow, look at the Eagles. They're in the 3 hole right now. Hey, and they're a game up on the Bucs. Seattle's 9-3. What are you doing? Is it possible that the Eagles could slide all the way down to 7? Let me see here. No, they can't. Because, wait, where are the Cowboys in this race? Let me see where the Cowboys are sitting right now. Cowboys are in the 9 hole. At 6-5-1, the Lions are 8 at 7-5. Let's see. So if they lose, the Eagles lose, they'll be 8-5. And if the Cowboys win, they'll be 7-5-1. You'll have a half game lead over New York, or excuse me, over Dallas, heading into the final couple games of the season. How you doing? Oh my God. Could you imagine the Eagles not making the playoffs? Oh my God. You'd have to guard the Benjamin Franklin. I mean, you'd have to have roadblocks. Yeah, you're not allowed to leave the city. We can't trust anybody leaving the city right now. No, nobody can leave. No, we're not trusting anybody here. Holy cow, man. You know what? You'd be like walking zombies. You know that movie that you had? There was a movie with that the city turned into zombies. And I forget who, the guy from Philly was in that movie. And everybody had to stay barricaded. They barricaded and you see Philadelphia Eagle fans, they'd be walking the streets. Will Smith was in the movie. He'd be walking the streets. And what happened? Oh my God. Yeah, I am legend. That's it. Hey, Philip, what happened to Philly? Everybody's under some toxic. Yeah, it came out of an Novacare center. It was spreading. What happened? Yeah, it's the fucking Hurts disease. What do you mean the Hurts disease? Yeah, everybody's a walking Jalenite. What happened? I don't know what happened to my hand. I don't know what happened to my hand. Oh my God. What happened to the Jalenites? They're the guys in the dark. The Jalenites are the guys in the dark. And you're sitting there, is that really a Jalenite? I am Jalenite. Oh shit. Fire Petula, bench Hurts. Hey, we got to get Tanner McKee in. Really? Tanner McKee. Okay. Hey, for me, please put McKee in. Oh my God, please put McKee in. If you put McKee in, you know what that Rocky statue is? You'll have a statue of Big Sills with the hat on. Where are the Tannerites? Oh my God, Jalen is Draymond Green of the Birds. Blue guy. Oh my God. Hey, you know that that float that Xander had everybody on the back, and he was driving down like Broad with it. Xander was out front of like the mayor's house and shit like that. He's sitting out there, he's broadcasting. His sister was awesome, by the way. Love her. I wonder how many people are on the back of that thing now. How come it's lighter? Hey, there's only my sister and me on it. And the only guy that's on the float now is Xander, Xander's not on the float. Okay, Xander got actually off the float September 4th. Okay, he got off the float September 4th. He did the right thing. The rest of you guys are still out there. Hey, M. Reyes is running down the street right now. He's got no clothes on. Hey, he's lost everything. Pride, soul, takes, everything. He's just running down Broad right now with a thong on. What happened to Jalen? And that float just got annihilated by the Bears. How you doing? Hey, by the way, how can you justify what's going on? Even a dumbass like you. How can you justify it? $200 million for dog shit. Hey, excuse me, you know that, is there a way I can, like, return my item? Well, yeah, you know you're not going to get the same price for it. I know. Let me ask you something here also on one thing. If you were to trade Jalen Hurts, you think you'd get a one for him? Not me. What offensive coordinator and offensive players are going to want to play for that? Who would want to play with that if you don't have a loaded team? Like if you traded into the Jets, who would play there? Hell, you got a guy you got A.J. Brown who wants out. I mean, if Nick was coaching the Jets, you think he'd turn the Jets around? The reason that the Eagles are who they are is because you're really good upstairs. Unfortunately, what you don't do is you don't empower people. Why do you think Belichick had this success for a long period of time consistently? You know why? Bob Kraft stayed out of the way. And he let his football people run the organization. And get this, Brady and Belichick couldn't stand one another, but they respected each other. And that's why they were able to go to 9 Super Bowls. They didn't have to be butt buddies, hiring your buddy. They respected one another. They had success with one another. They believed in one another. And by the way, there's nothing Nick Sirianni has that's remotely close to Belichick. Belichick is the greatest defensive-minded coach that's ever fucking lived. Ever. And he took that knowledge and gave it to the greatest quarterback of all time. I know some of you guys just think it's by coincidence, but he coached Lawrence Taylor and Tom Brady. You probably think that that's a coincidence, but you can have all the talent in the world, and if you don't have the right coach in the NFL, you'll never fulfill your destiny. Belichick coached Lawrence Taylor and Brady. I know, it's a coincidence. How's that possible you even think that? You told me that. Are you fucking nuts, guy? I've known that for 20 years when they first started winning. Yeah, right. You think Steichen would take Jalen? I don't know. What's the difference between Daniel Jones and Jalen Hurts right now? Do you think Jalen Hurts is better than Daniel Jones right now this year in 25? I don't. Daniel Jones throws the ball better than Hurts. He's a better passer in the pocket. Sky is falling? I'm not the one that's sitting there talking about replacing the coordinator. As a matter of fact, Joe Ho, I'm the one that's saying you shouldn't do anything. Run through the tape. Making changes now December 1st? Are you fucking nuts? You want to have 23 happen to you? I'm not making any changes. For who? Nick? Shows you what that guy knows. I'm the one that's sitting there saying, you got people all over Philadelphia now wanting to bench Hurts, or you want to like fire Patullo. For what? You want to start all over again the first week of December? And you want to panic? Why? You're in the room with everyone else. Holy cow. Hey, that's it. Show the first sign of panic. You do that, your season's over for sure. Hurts Carter and 2 firsts for Burrow. No, I'm not doing any of that. I'm not doing, for a guy who's always hurt, I'm not doing that. I'd do that for Josh Allen. I'm not doing that for a guy who can't stay upright. By the way, just to keep everything shits and giggles here, the Bengals are now 2 games back in the AFC North. I'd keep an eye on them with Burrow back. They just dismantled the Ravens. I mean, I don't know. I'd keep an eye on that. Hit the like button. Angelo Cataldi will be with us at the bottom of the hour. All right, let me ask you this question here. What does Jalen Hurts do as a skilled player well right now? What does he do well as a skilled player? What does Hurts' skill set right now, what does he do well? Let me see. We got to take running off the table because he doesn't want to. Turnovers. Hold on. Turnovers. I'll put that there. He does protect the ball. Turnovers. I think that's no. I asked you as a skill set. I got it. That's it. I got it, my friend. Thank you. He's a winner. I know. Collects paychecks. And hey, when that guy, like I told you guys before, when Jesse James was robbing banks, he used a gun. When Hurts gets his money on Tuesday, this guy does it with a wide-ass grin. It goes like this with the 28th ranked offense in football. Oof. Hey, that's some collection of dough, man. Tush push. They're not even doing that well. Come on. What's he do well? Throws a deep ball when he has time. Bro, it has nothing to do with time. He's got all the time in the world. They're pretty good pass protection-wise. Jalen Hurts doesn't do anything well right now. He doesn't do anything well. What he doesn't do good is a better question. I'd be here all day. Hey, chat, BRB, I'm going to watch Nick's presser. Will report. Good. Nick's presser? Oh, my God. I listen. The people are being schooled right now, the reporters. Don't ask this question. Don't ask this question. Don't ask that question. Make sure you don't, or your keep up will be taken from you. Signed, Bob Hairlang. We cannot have questions asked to the head coach that are unruly. And if we have an outburst again, you will be escorted to the border of Pennsylvania. And you will be sent to the island of, or to the state of misfit toys, New Jersey. And they will send you to New Jersey. Everybody has bad things happen to them. They get sent to New Jersey. Carter and Davis should be more of a four. Carter and Davis. Haas. I mean, those two guys were on milk cartons. Have you seen these guys? Please call 1-800. Call Howie. Okay? I mean, 1-800. Call Howie. Howie, the guy wants $32 million. Not happening. Hey, I picked a 5th-year option up on that guy. And I give myself a little more time. Because he's had a dog shit 2025. As a matter of fact, of all the players who were expected to have great years, the most disappointing player in the Philadelphia Eagle locker room is Jalen Carter. It's Jalen Carter. He's been the most disappointing player for me, has been Jalen Carter. Well, AJ and Barkley, 29, 28-year-old players, 3 knee injuries, 6 years. Okay, yeah, sure, Barkley. Well, you were the ones that thought he was going to go for 2K again, back to back. I think he can do it, Sills. I remember all that bullshit. I think he can do it. I'm like, that's not happening. I had him rushing for less than 1,400 yards. And I thought that was high. I thought, no, I wouldn't call him that. Limited, yes. Loser, no. You'll never hear me call the guy a loser. Because that's not fair. Nor is it true. It's not, hey, one thing we tell you here, and one thing I will always give you here, Okay? I will tell you flat out, plain and simple. Oh my God. I'm looking at, oh, I guess, I guess IP now is picking up the baton that still started. Little difference is I started this A train 5 years ago. I knew what I was seeing. How many times did you guys a year ago go like this? Well, the quarterback doesn't have to pass. Well, because we have a great run game. Oh, okay. Quarterback's dog shit in the pass game. No, he's okay. No, he's not. He's never been a great passer. I remember even telling you this. Don't you think 2022 could be the high ceiling of Hurts? So far it is. Sills, if the Falcons keep this up, might have a chance on getting a replacement for Stafford whenever he retires. Dude, Hurts he has the upper hand on you. He has a no trade. You can't get rid of him. He owns Philly and you. Get that out of your brains. You have no leverage over Jalen Hurts. It's getting old. The only thing we could say about the quarterback is he's a winner. He protects the ball and nothing about him being able to play the position. Okay? I hate to bring the hat up again, but I know. He's a Timo version of Lamar and Josh Allen. Okay? But get this. I'll tell you one thing that I think he does better than Josh Allen and Lamar. Now, that's because of Howie. Remember when we posted that video when I said that the only reason Jalen Hurts wins is because of Howie Roseman? Well, that's fucking true. That's why Josh Allen and Lamar don't win. Because they don't have Howie Roseman. I mean, I'm not surprised. You are. You're the ones that are surprised. I'm not. I mean, damn. I'll tell you something. Okay? I'll tell you something. Again, these are not cool conversations for me. I don't like to see somebody fucking not win or not fulfill their destiny. That's not what I'm doing here. Hey, Sills, he must really feel that being right on shit like that is not cool. That means somebody's failing. I'm not rooting for anybody's failure. Hey, I'd rather have Jalen Hurts win multiple Super Bowls than my takes be right. I know you don't believe that, but I'm an ex-player. I want everyone to fulfill their destiny. I don't root for people to fail. I just don't. Why would I? Because if you do that, you have a loser mentality. It's not true, man. And by the way, for my 30 some odd years on the air, I've always maintained that. You know what's kind of funny is that I know that you guys think that because some of you have never heard of me in the past, never watched my show or heard my radio show. I'm not doing anything different than I did for all those years on the air. This is how I did my radio show. And this is why a lot of people have a problem with it. You know why? Because we don't lie. Look at whose numbers. So wait a minute. You want me to look at Jalen Hurts' numbers? Let's take a look. Okay. Worst quarterback in the NFC East? How about this? I think Jalen Hurts is the least talented quarterback in the East. Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at Jalen Hurts' numbers here. Since you want to go there. By the way, Angelo Cataldi will join us at the bottom of the hour. Hey, by the way, Angelo's a big fan. So let's go to attempts. Let's see where he is heading into the final stretch run. Let's go attempts. Where is he in attempts? He's 18th. Let's go in completions. Jalen Hurts he's 18th in completions. Yards. Hurts is 17th. And touchdowns. Hurts is 7th. Not bad. That's pretty good. I mean, and then you put the offensive, they're 27th in passing, they're 22nd in rushing, and they're 28th in third down. Sounds like a stellar year. Hurts ain't the problem. It's Patullo. I need some help here, Sills. You know the game of football. Be honest, man. Okay, Marsh, let me ask you one question, okay? All right. If you're a pilot and you fly 747s and then you get into a Cessna, do you think the way of flying the Cessna is a little different because the Cessna's limited? Doesn't have all the big power jet engines that a 747 has. Hurts is like a Cessna compared to some of these other jets that are in the league. He's not one of them big birds, dude. So if you're a pilot, you have to pilot the Cessna to the controls that's in the plane, which means you have to coach that way as well. I'll tell you what, man. Boy, you Philly fans, I got to tell you, there's reports now you're throwing rocks at Patullo's house, which is completely uncool. Okay? And there's also now, I mean, I get it. Hey, look, you want to fire the OC. You're pissed off at the quarterback. You said all these things at the beginning of the year, and you hired a inexperienced offensive coordinator. This is an organizational mistake. This is from the head coach. This is the GM thinking that they're bigger than who they are. I mean, you give Jalen Hurts, a dude out of college, basically, to guide the offense. How come you didn't hire a Vic Fangio? You know why? Because the front office doesn't want to lose control of the offense. This is shit Doug Peterson. This goes back to Doug Peterson kind of talk. This goes back to Doug. In control of the coordinators. How the offense goes. Man. I mean, you were destroyed by the Chicago Bears. 281 on the ground. You know what that means? You might as well do this. When you have 280 yards on the ground against you, that's like having one hand tied behind your back and you have a white flag in the other hand and you're waving it. All right. You know what? There was a man who used to be on the airwaves. And in his final week, he kind of exposed Nicky Sirianni. And Sirianni wouldn't come on the last show of a guy who was on the air over 40 years. Started as a columnist, too. Was writing all the things. Unfortunately, Philadelphia now, if I were to compare it, it'd be like Passaic, New Jersey, when it comes to their sports and how they cover teams. It's like the Newark Times. No disrespect, but everything that leaves New York and Philly, that's why the Statue of Liberty is facing the other way, so everybody could kiss the statue's ass in New Jersey. How you doing? All right. With all that being said, the man, the myth, the legend, he also said, Eagle fans, this is going to be the end. And we're going to start seeing it. And I had to do this, folks. I know there's Thanksgiving, and this is really something special because, he going to give us a little time here. He doesn't usually do back-to-back weeks because he gets exhausted very early and very easily nowadays. He is my friend, Nostradamus. Angelo Cataldi joins us now. How you doing, Angie?
Dan, this is straight weeks. I don't know how long I can do this, but I realize it's a crisis. I saw what you guys saw, and there's another reason. I am right now. I am surrounded by stupidity. Not just in how the Eagles are run, but the way the city is covering this team, taking the narrative of the coach that this isn't one thing. There's a lot going on here. It's we win together, we lose together. It's an infection. It's Kevin Petula, and it started. They were winning somehow with his awful play calling and horrible coaching. They were winning, but they were still low ranked and offensively in the NFL with all that talent. But they kept, Vic Fangio was getting it. They were blocking, go find ways to win. But you could tell, you could tell this was like 23, 2 years ago. You could tell that there was a really major problem here. The people that were in charge of the two units in 23, they had a bad defensive coordinator back then too, that they were going to blow it at some point. And the infection is now, you saw on Friday that the infection to the defense. Now you go, well, geez, the defense couldn't stop the run. 281 yards? Two guys running over 100 in the same game for an opponent hadn't happened in 40 years there. And it happened in that game. You go, these guys, the defense stinks now. No, it does not stink. It was on the field for 40 freaking minutes.
And 85 plays, Angelo.
85 plays. It was almost like 2 games you had them out there. And if you wanted to really look at what you were seeing, Ben Johnson is an offensive coordinator, a good one who had a top 5 offense 3 consecutive years in Detroit. That's what got him the job as a head coach with the Bears. He's scheming. Did you see the way they schemed the run game?
Unbelievable.
Does anybody function when they're watching football at that level that you could tell? Swift, that other big guy too. I can't remember his name, but that guy was good too. Right? They were just grinding it out. They were basically, they set up schemes so that these guys could cut back, find the open run, just like, oh my God, like Barkley did last year when the Eagles had an offensive coordinator. It's all one freaking thing. You understand? The same offense that was so good last year is ranked 24th in the league with the same players. Wake up. It's one thing. You've got Petula. And Petula, it will soon be named, there'll be a disease named after it in Philly soon. Because that's what it is. It's a disease. And until you cut it out, till you get rid of it, you have no chance. No chance. They have a week right now, Dan, 1 week, where somebody in the organization, it's going to be Sirianni. He said, oh, no, he's not the problem. He's fine. He's doing a good job. Did you know he was doing a good job with the 24th ranked offense?
I did.
I mean, why do you even hold news conferences? We need to be lied to every week. No, don't need it. Until they get rid of Petula, they're doomed. Jim Harbaugh is going to have his way with them next Monday night if Petula's on the other sideline with the board up. They're looking at the menu from Denny's, trying to figure out what to call. Yeah, let's do that one again. Yeah, that's good. Oh, man, it's one thing. All this other stuff is BS, and the media has jumped in on it. They just, even my market case, yeah, the real problem's Hurts. Yeah, Hurts all of a sudden got awful in the offseason. He was great. He's an MVP of the Super Bowl. Now he stinks. It's not his coach. It's all on him. My ass it is.
How much do you think, Angelo, that coaching has affected him now in his play?
Of course it has. Would it? What's this?
Yeah,
6
I agree.
6 thinking years. Every year they basically rely on him to improvise and do something. When you saw They went to no huddle near the end where they were getting way behind. They had no choice. And he was calling the plays at the line. And he just kept dialing up A.J. Brown. And he kept throwing it in traffic to A.J. Brown. And A.J. Brown kept grabbing the ball. And he went all the way down the field with A.J. Brown, all the way in the end zone. A.J. Brown was unbelievable. He ended up the day with 10 catches, 132 yards, two touchdowns, right? And all you could think is, as you were watching that, what all those games where they didn't target Brown, they targeted him 2 times, 3 times in a game. You go, there's a statement right there. You've got this weapon. And in duress, when you have to use them, you do, and you score a touchdown. Where was that all those weeks? Then it's one problem. It's the offensive coordinator. He doesn't know what he's doing. His buddy is basically empowering him, if not accompanying. He could be like an accomplice in this crime. Because if Patel's going to Sirianni, go, Nick, I might need a little guidance here. Yeah, Nick is great at that. That's why he lasted 7 games in his rookie season before he realized he couldn't do it. There's nobody there to do it. So I don't know what you're going to do.
No. You know, everybody wants to do this. Everybody wants to fire Kevin Patullo. For who, Nick?
Yeah. No, you can't. No, that's the problem. You don't have somebody there who has any sort. Wouldn't you have at least built in a plan B?
Yeah.
You're going to give it to this novice. Can we put somebody on the staff just in case that we could slide in there who knows the offense and could fix it, as much as you can on the fly? They didn't do that. So it's also on the ownership and it's on the general manager that they thought somehow this guy was going to be able to do it. Because I'm not advocating in any sense throwing rocks at Patullo's house, all right? But then those fans in the game Friday, Dan, knew more what was happening on that field than the coaches on the sideline were. Because those boos were for Patullo. Those boos were for Sirianni. Those boos were looking at the talent on that offense and seeing them fail 4 and outs, seeing them fail repeatedly, and understanding that it is not those people, those players on the field. It is the people who are coaching them, who are calling plays, who are putting them in a position to fail when we already know they're capable of winning a Super Bowl. It's a travesty. And the story is not being told in our city because everybody is letting narrative be formed by the Eagles, by Bob Lang, the PR mogul, and by Nick Sirianni, who keeps coming out with the same horseshit week after week after week, and they keep buying it. Come on, wake up.
Angelo, I said this. I go, Hurts right now is just not playing well, and I have made this very clear. They don't hire coordinators for Jalen. They hire coaches for Nick. Every single one of those coaches are there to work with Nick, not to make Jalen better. Even Kellen Moore a year ago, they ran the ball. They've almost stopped developing the kid. They haven't developed the kid in 2 years. Now, I'll ask you this. Do you think Barkley's washed?
No, he's not. Look, do I buy a little bit Jason Avant's theory that he's making some business decisions? No, I don't.
Agree.
But look, I was around locker rooms a long time, and I understand psychology of players. And when a player thinks they're at a disadvantage before the national anthem, when a player understands that, the people telling him what to do don't know what they're doing. He's less likely to be as involved in giving everything he's got every second. I mean, if you ever work for an idiot boss, it changes the way you look at stuff.
Oh, absolutely. You're miserable.
It absolutely does. If they did not make this horrendous decision to put a novice in charge of the offense, nothing you're seeing right now on the field would be happening. It wouldn't be. Barkley would have another great season. Yeah, I know. The offensive line is banged up. They're not what they were. Becton left. That's fine. It wouldn't have this much of an impact because that's a great player. There's no scheming to get him any room to run. The only time he had any room to run was against the Giants. He got 150 yards. Why? Because they spread it out. They got him outside the tackles. They moved him. This is simple football. This isn't intricate football knowledge. And yet so many people who are talking about this in this city right now are not seeing what's happening on that field, and they're listening to bullshit from the coach.
Absolutely here. And here's to your point. Steen's the fourth worst pass protecting offensive lineman in the NFL, and Landon Dickerson is ninth. And one of the worst centers in the league right now is Cam Jurgens. The entire middle of the offensive line right now for Barkley, I mean, Barkley looks like New York Giants Barkley.
So how does that happen? How does it happen that two guys were elite last year, Jurgens and Dickinson, stink this year? Is it just them? Or is it maybe the fact that the coaching is not exploiting what they can do the way Kellen Moore did?
I think what they did, Angelo, in my opinion, I think that style of play last year, I think that wore that team out so bad because all they did was want to run the ball, the push, all of that stuff. If you even look at Becton, he's banged up out in Los Angeles with the Chargers. Every single guy this year has rated 10 points lower than they did a year ago. So I think that 470 carries of a year ago, and then their inability to be able to have a balanced offense, throwing and running, I think they hurt that quarterback, and I think that they have hurt that entire approach. And I think you're seeing the ramifications of that right now being played out.
It's a great point. It's a great point. I can tell you this. Jalen Hurts is 27 years old. He's in his 6th year of his NFL career. He's in his prime. He is not losing it. All right. He is not horrific. He threw 2 interceptions the whole season. Second one on Friday in windy, horrible conditions. Don't tell me he's bad. He's not bad. Is he not running as much? He shouldn't be running as much. He's getting older in his career. There should be enough plays to dial up with 2 elite receivers, an excellent tight end, an MVP running back. You're 24th. Give me a break. There's no explanation except what changed from last year to this year. Well, the personnel's pretty close to the same. We have a whole new guy running it now. A guy who never did it before. Gee, that couldn't be the reason, could it?
What do you think Jeffrey Lurie is thinking of this right now? How do you think he's thinking of this?
That's the hope, right? That's the hope. The hope is that Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman, I saw them in the luggage box. They panned over there a couple of times. They looked very, either it was extremely cold or the grimaces were frozen on their faces. They were clearly not handling this great. And I'm hoping right now, today, literally today, Monday, once they had the weekend to process what they saw, that they're in there and they're saying to Sirianni, we're not going to stay with that guy. You could say whatever you want publicly. He's not calling the plays anymore. Now, then the next question obviously is, all right, who is? I can't give you a good answer on that. They put themselves in this position. But I would say this, and I said this in my blog today. I honestly believe a trained SEAL could call plays better than Kevin Petula. Yeah, I really mean that. A trained SEAL. They're pretty bright. Now, that's a pretty bright mammal.
Well, they know where the fish is, so I'm assuming, if at least they know where the bait is. I get it here. What's Sirianni's responsibility in this?
Sirianni is a moron. All right. Is there any other way to say this?
No.
All right. Now it's clearer than it's ever been. It's great. Sirianni is there pontificating after they lose. And he's going, well, here's how you get out of this. and he's giving you, this is what it takes to get out of a situation like this. And I'm going, yeah, you're the guy I want to ask this to, because you were so brilliant at it 2 years ago when you were 10-1 and then just boom, exploded and you lost 6 out of 7. You're the guy who's going to tell me how to get out of it now when you couldn't do it 2 years ago. All right, let's see. 2 years ago, you had a bad offensive coordinator and you had no answers. Last year, you had a great offensive coordinator. You won the Super Bowl. This year, you're back to a bad offensive coordinator and you're right in the same boat, and I'm waiting for you to give me some answers. And he even said at one point, I don't know how to fix it. I don't know how to fix it. Yeah, we got that. We saw that in 2023. The guy, this I said before, and I'll say it again. That is the luckiest man in sports from the year 2020 to 2030. The luckiest man I've ever seen, because listen to, you know what I did in a blog? I just took his answer to the question I'm doing, and I printed it, right? It was 2 paragraphs of utter nonsense.
Word salad.
It was a word salad, and I challenged the readers to find a single crouton of wisdom in the word salad. It was not, it was blabber. And all I could think when I was, I was printing it out, and I went, wow, this is the Sirianni we saw at his very first news conference.
Oh,
when the whole world caved, he went, oh my God, they hired a moron, right? And then eventually he learned enough to get through this. Never dazzle, but at least not so that he was a total simpleton. In reality, he's not super bright. That's the best way.
Angelo, hasn't one thing come out of this, though, that what you just said, doesn't that expose that you had Shane Steichen, team was like growing and the quarterback was getting better, and all of a sudden then you went to somebody different and there wasn't success. Then you went to somebody that was good and you had really great success. Now you've gone to somebody else and you've had bad success. Doesn't that expose him and his knowledge of coaching?
Yes, 100%. Why do you think he went to his friend again this year? Because he wasn't that comfortable with Moore. Moore was dictating what they would do offensively. It wasn't Sirianni. Moore was the guy, and Moore had authority to do what he needed to do to make that offense great. And they were. That got him a head job. Now Sirianni's back there again. And I guess now having the being empowered by winning a Super Bowl to be able to pick his own guy. And he goes, oh, I'm going to bring in a guy I'm going to bring Kevin here because he's my bud. We go back 15 years and we'll have fun doing this and we'll keep winning. Well, yeah, I'm not having fun watching you, and you're not winning now because the guy stinks at the job. He stinks at it. I want to get good at it. He stinks.
I want to give you a resume on him. So he's been in the NFL for 15 years. He was in college for 1. He's only had 2 position coaches in that 15 years and was passed over twice in Philly by a guy outside the building and by another guy inside the building. And yet Nick convinced all of us that he was the right guy to get elevated. And my whole contention was in the offseason, the guy just won the Super Bowl 11 months ago. Don't you hire the most capable and qualified? Tom Brady said that about 2 months ago. Brady goes, you rank these quarterbacks all the time. Let's rank these coordinators. If you were to rank Kevin Petula right now, he might be the worst coordinator in the league.
Yeah. Oh, he is. I watch the Red Zone. I watch all these games. Nobody is calling more rudimentary, basic, vanilla plays than this guy is. And there's pattern to it. There's no rhythm to it. There's no scheming involved. It's garbage. And you don't need to be, you don't need a doctorate in football to understand by watching these games that there's a fundamental problem with putting somebody in charge who has no proven record. You've got a great offense. They proved it. They won a Super Bowl against the Chiefs. They blew their doors off 34-0 at one point in the Super Bowl. And then you replace them with a novice. It's so look, I was terribly wrong with my 5-game prediction a year ago, but I saw this coming 8 miles away. That I called him a Bobo before the first game. You got to say that. I did it here and I did it in my blog. You could see those fans that were booing. You know what they were frustrated about? They knew it before it even happened. They knew it. They looked at it and went, why are you bringing in a guy with no track record when you've got a Super Bowl team? You got rid of an experienced quality offensive coordinator to bring in another one.
Angelo, so over the last 8 games, they're 4-4. And as I like to call the first month of the season, Liars Month. So in the last games, as you're heading now into December here, and you've got the Chargers coming up who've won 5 of 7. Even though their quarterback he broke his odd hand. He didn't break his throwing hand. He broke his odd hand.
Right.
I watched that in the Raider game.
I saw it.
They're 4-4, and they just got steamrolled by an upstart Bears team. How do you feel about them going in on this Monday night game?
Well, it's Herbert. It is huge. Herbert is he's good.
I stood next to him, Angelo. He could have ate a wedding cake off my head.
Yeah.
That's how tall this guy is. He's a huge dude.
Really good. Yep. He's really good. And he knows what he's doing out there, and he's got a very good coach in Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, great
if
coach.
He plays, and if he plays and Petula's on the other sideline, the Eagles are not going to win the game. I'll tell you that right. They're not going to win the game. If he doesn't play, now you've got the potential for another mirage with the Eagles because they could win with the backup. But the backup came in for a few plays. I was watching it.
Trey Lance.
You got nothing. So they could win that game. Fangio could win that game for them if he's going against Trey Lance. Then you got the Raiders. The Raiders stink. I mean, they are brutal. They're brutally awful, right?
Yes.
You're going to win. I think you're going to win that one with Petullo's dog calling the plays, all right? Come on. I mean, the disparity in talent is monumental. So now you got another 2-game winning streak, and now you're back in play for the number 1 seed, and everybody's going, we're all right now. We're good. Then you got Washington twice and the Bills on the road, all right? So the Washington, it's hard to understand. I mean, they played with Denver yesterday. If they get Daniels back,
one of those games, they'll get Daniels back.
All right, so
maybe both.
They'll be a threat. They have McLaurin again. But you're going to win the Raiders game. I can't tell you about the other 4. Yeah, if Petullo still couldn't play, you could lose all 4 of those other games.
They ran for 150. They ran for 150 yards. The Chargers did this last game that they were in. And
let
me ask you a couple last questions on the defense now. Are you worried that the offense and what Petullo and what Sirianni and what the approach has been? I said this. You're starting to see the collateral damage of the defense getting torn apart because of you're on the field, like you said, Angelo, 85 plays.
That's amazing.
The average is like 60.
Yeah.
And for you to, you played like a half a football game, and they only held them to 20. They held them to 24 points. I know they got ran on, but still 24 points, 85 plays. That's a boatload of plays being thrown at that defense.
Right.
Are they taking the defense apart with their approach on offense?
It's the Petullo infection. I told you they're hurting the defense, but I'm not worried. I'm not worried about that. I'll tell you exactly why. Vic Fangio will bring those boys in, and they will be ready to play next Monday night. They'll be ready to play, Dan, because they got a very good coach. and he knows what to do. He knows how to scheme. He knows how to get them motivated. They will come out, and I guarantee you they will play a representative game. Now, if they're on the field for 85 snaps again, they're going to wear down. But they do have an extra few days here because they played Friday. They don't play until next Monday night, 10 days off. That and the fact that they have a very good coach, they'll be all right. They're not going to be a big problem.
What do you think of your old station? What do you think of your old? What do you think of your old station saying that they should bench Hurts?
Well, it's just stupid. All right, it's just friggin' dumb. All right, they're going to put in McKee. Is that what their plan is?
Yes.
They're living in the Howard Eskin now. That's their plan.
Yeah. Howard did say last week that the best quarterback on that team is Tanner McKee.
Right. Look, Hurts did not play well. I wouldn't be playing well either if that moron was my boss. All right, I wouldn't be doing it either. It's not Hurts. What do you need? Are you that? You look, I don't want to trash my old station. All right. I still got somebody I love who is still telling it straight every freaking day. Rhea Hughes.
I love her.
But if you other guys, any of you guys, I'll make directly in WIP. All right. If any of you other guys over there,
Hugh Douglas thinks they should bench him. Hugh Douglas thinks they should bench him.
Douglas is looking for clicks. Hugh Douglas knows better. Hugh Douglas worked with me. He wouldn't be saying that if he was on my show. I'll tell you that right now. All right. If you are saying the problem is Jalen Hurts, you need to find the station in Schenectady and start all over. Because you shouldn't be doing broadcasting in this city of Philadelphia. You don't know your ass from a hole in the wall. All right. See if Schenectady will hire you. You don't know crap. All right. Because it's not Hurts. It's Patullo. Watch the friggin' games. They're on TV.
All right. I got one last one for you. Is there any way that at the end of this year, let's just say this, what would have to happen for Nick Sirianni to go from being the darling at the ball to all of a sudden having his job again be in question? Is it missing the playoffs? Is it look at the Cowboys. The Cowboys are playing the best ball right now in the NFC East. I mean, they're playing the best football right now. So, if they lose Angelo, they'll only have a half-game lead on the Cowboys going into the final couple games here. Does it have to be to get Nick out of the building that they have to blow it and not win the East? Or do you think there's anything to stop that? Or is it he's safe?
There's only one scenario where he's not safe. And I can say this with absolute conviction because it's already happened. All right. A Super Bowl winning champion got tackles up and said, I'm deciding who my assistants are. That was Doug Peterson. Now, this is unlike because Sirianni is a yes man with a capital Y. All right. But if they said at the end of the year, get Patullo not only out of Philadelphia, I want him out of the country because he's such a viral infection to this roster.
You want to send him to the CFL?
If any point, CFL, but only as an assistant and not as a coordinator. You'd have to be like a quarterback's coach or what do they call it? Special, whatever.
Quality control. Quality control, Andrew.
That's what I was
Quality
thinking.
control. Quality control. You cut up third down tape.
Yeah, he controlled a lot of he's controlling the quality this year. He's ruining it. All right. But if somehow Sirianni were to say, if he goes, I go, he would go, they would both go. All right. Now he's losing the city. If this happens twice in 3 years, he's a marked man in Philadelphia. Super Bowl or no Super Bowl, he's screwed. All right?
You think he's losing the city? You think he's losing the city right now, Sirianni?
Did you listen to the crowd? Did you?
Yes,
They even, to their credit, I guess Amazon was doing it again.
Yeah.
They were showing you close-ups of these people, my people, and you.
No, I heard. I saw a lot of WTFs. I saw a lot of that going on in the stand.
Those people. Dan, I love those people because those people are smarter than the people broadcasting, smarter than the coaches on the sideline. Those people know what the hell they're talking about, and they're not afraid. The media people are afraid, coach afraid, the fans aren't afraid. They're going to tell you exactly what they think. And he is losing them now. He is losing them now. He's going to lose them a lot more if they get a home playoff game and they flop, like they probably will. If it's still up, they'll still probably squeak into the playoffs somewhere, but then they'll just go to it. They'll go out, just like they did 2 years ago in Tampa. Same thing.
Hold on here. So I just clicked on Angelo's blog here, and he's got Sirianni with a clown face.
Yes, I do.
He's got Sirianni with a big red nose, and he's got him in a clown face, and he's got the whole entire word salad thing that he answered at the presser, and he's going through it and basically I'm going to paraphrase, huh?
No, that's it. It's all just words leading nowhere and indicating nothing. There is no point to holding a news conference if you're going to try to sell the same pound of bullshit you tried to sell 3 weeks ago and 2 weeks ago and last week. Oh, we're all in this together, and we lose as a team and we win as a team, and it's never one thing. He said with great expertise after blowing a whole season 2 years ago. Give me a break, will you please?
The last comment. The best remedy for the Philadelphia Eagles, if they want to repeat as champions, in your opinion, is to replace Patullo?
Yes.
That means
don't ask me with who. I said before, I would select a dog or a seal. Anyone would be better. Do you understand? Maybe they should use AI. I don't know. Maybe they should try artificial intelligence. I can just tell on the face of the earth, there are very few people who are worse at running that offense than the man currently doing it. They know this. They're not that stupid. If Patullo has got that shot up on a sideline next Monday, see what's on the other stations, because you're not going to want to see what happens with the Eagles in Los Angeles. They're going to get their ass kicked.
Well, I told people, man, you better have guardrails up there at the Benjamin Franklin. Not letting anybody out of Philadelphia. Just nobody gets to go across anywhere. You're all staying in Philly. Nobody's leaving, because if that happens on Monday night, Angelo, there's going to be a lot of people pissed off at that $200 million offense if they can't get it across the finish line, or at least get to a divisional round this year. Angelo, I love the blog. Make sure you guys go check it out. By the way, I'm trying to read a little bit of it. And, I don't know what Nick was saying today. I mean, it was just, I think it's a
just read it.
You can't.
The people that are supporting him, just read.
Yeah, go to AngeloCataldi.com and just read.
Tell me that you're comfortable with that man running your football team. Yeah. Because he's the one who decided his buddy was going to be in charge of the other. Just read that and tell me if that is it in English? I don't know what the hell it is. But that's what he said. Verbatim. I took it right off their website. Yep. They give you a transcript. I plucked it right off there, put it out and said, here, read this. Tell me what you think of this. There's your guy. Go get him, man.
Make sure you guys send your comments to Angelo Cataldi at angelocataldi.com. Angie, thank you so much, my friend. I know you're exhausted. I mean, geez.
I'm not. I'm fueled by crisis. When there's a calamity, no problem. If the Eagles lose next Monday night, it would be an honor to return to your podcast, your show next week.
Oh, great. Let me tell you this. Hang on. folks, Angelo just wrote us all a prescription today for what happened on Friday.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And so so we could see you next Friday if they lose.
You next week, I'm here next Tuesday. They're on
Next
Monday night.
Tuesday.
I'm here next Tuesday, and my prescription is Novocaine, and take the shot in your ass. All right, because it's going to be, you're going to want to numb yourself for that thing next Monday night if that jackass is still calling plays.
AngeloCataldi.com. That's where you can find him. And by the way, I have a great conversation with your girl, Rhea. Thank you very much for that connection. I found out something Angelo, I found out something very disturbing a little bit that, Bob Lang has told all the hosts at WIP that can no longer come on my program, and they're not allowed to come on, and they can't because, they're just not allowed to. So I just was.
Oh, they're not. The whole station now, is that it?
Yeah, the whole station's not allowed on my show.
If my old station is allowing Bob Lang, the PR guy of the Eagles, to make decisions for the availability of the hosts,
they are.
Shame on all of them. You know what I would have told my bosses if they said that? I would have said, fire me. Go ahead and fire me. This city is based on honest opinions spread wherever. Go wherever. No one was ever blocked from going anywhere except the stations in our city when I was there. Yeah. And I wouldn't have allowed it. I would have gone anywhere the hell I wanted for 33 years. And if they didn't like it, fire me. Show some balls out there.
The Eagles have them. They totally have them. Angelo, next week we'll catch you, brother, because I think what you said is going to happen. I'll talk to you then. Thank you so much, Angelo.
Take it easy.
Hey, I'm glad you had a great holiday too, by the way. So, man. So, Angelo believes it's Patullo. I believe it's both. But Patullo is the lesser of the guys to me. So let's just play this game. Do you think it's Hurts? Or do you think it's Kevin Patullo that's stopping this offense from having success? Let's take a look at both of them. Okay? Quarterback's limited. And the play caller is inexperienced. So you have inexperience versus limited. But when you combine the two, isn't this the results you get? But wait a minute. Sue says, I believe it's the whole damn organization. Well, Sue, they've been to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years and 3 Super Bowls in 8 years with 2 wins. Okay? I mean, they do something right. Here, let's do this. 14-3 a year ago, 8-4 right now. So they're 22-7. I mean, that's not terrible. Right now, I'm leaning on 60% Hurts. Okay? Here's Marsh. I'm telling you what I see, Sills, and it's Patullo. Okay, well, let me ask you something, Marsh. Do you think the quarterback is limited? By the way, I want to make sure that I'm clear on this because I think it's important. I think the quarterback's limited, but why would you have a passing coordinator with him? You understand? Sue, do you not agree? Once again, my take is, Marsh, my take is they have the wrong guy. And that's why he looks terrible. If you got the wrong coach, I don't care who you are, you're going to make everybody look bad. Quarterback needs a run-heavy offense. Okay? I'm in for that. Okay? How many Shane Steichen? I'll tell you what, I think Joe Brady would be a great hire for Jalen Hurts. I think that guy Todd Monken in Baltimore would be a good hire. They got running quarterbacks. We need a coach to utilize a quarterback skill set. Hey, Steven, ask yourself this. Why would, they know that. I don't think Ken Dorsey would be a good hire. I don't. I don't think he'd be a good hire for Jalen Hurts. Okay? Because you got to protect the football. And I don't really think Ken did that great a job with Josh Allen. And I don't really think he did that good a job when he was with Deshaun Watson in Cleveland. So I love the kid. He's a hurricane and all. I love him, but I don't think that's the guy for Jalen. Jalen is just doing as he's told. No, I think Jalen is doing what he wants to do and what he wants the offense to look like. Hey, is this a possibility? Hey, Marsh, do you think that this is a possibility? The reason Jalen Hurts wants the playbook to be limited is because he knows that the coordinator's limited. Let's turn it around. Okay? Let's turn it around and aim it with Jalen making the calls and the decisions. Is it possible that Jalen knows that the coordinator and the head coach in this system with a play calling quarterback the way he is, the reason why the playbook has to be limited is because those guys are limited. You can't tell me that Kevin Patullo knows more football than Jalen Hurts. I won't subscribe to that. I don't believe that. Hurts is frustrated. With what? The process and how they hire coaches? Maybe. How about Dable? Forget his head coaching ability. I think it as an OC. Was it Dable at Alabama at one time? I thought I read somewhere where Brian Dable was on Nick Saban's staff somewhere. Was he on one of those first staffs down in Tuscaloosa? I thought I read something like that he was on a coaching staff and he was there at Alabama. I thought he was a coach at Alabama at one time. Hurts is slow and bad football IQ. I don't know about football IQ. He was Jalen's OC. That had to be before either Lane or Sarkisian. Hey, listen, I thought Cliff Kingsbury was going to get the job 2 years ago. And I thought I'll tell you this, I think Cliff Kingsbury a year ago, I think he would have won a Super Bowl too. But I think the offense would have been more balanced. Dable was an OC at Alabama. Okay. So then he obviously knows Hurts. Quarterback is limited, but a weapon on the edge. Okay. It's Nick and Papa Jeffrey took the keys from Nick for a season, gave it back to him after he was a good boy and Nick wrecked the car again. Get Saban on. You know what? We'll try to do that. See if we'll send him a text here. Here's March. Dable or Frank, we need an RPO specialist because that's Hurts' game. I got another name for you. How about Nick Foles? How about Nick Foles as OC? Backup quarterback, Super Bowl MVP. How about Nick Foles? Dable was the OC the year they benched him. Oh, wait a minute here. What about Nick Foles? Backup quarterback. Nobody thought shit of. Super Bowl MVP. Ran RPOs. Why not him? Played the position. Jalen would trust him. But that takes the keys away from Nick when you do shit like that. Then get this. Then all of a sudden you got a guy potentially becoming your next head football coach. Get this. 0 coaching experience. You want to shit on Petula for getting the job and no experience in you. At least I have a guy that ran an RPO. Look at M. Reyes. What's the difference between Nick Foles and Kevin Petullo? This guy thinks because he's 15 years in the league or 15 years as a quality control coach, he thinks that guy's a good coach. Just because you've been in the league a long time, dude, doesn't mean you know what the fuck you're doing. Look at him. That doesn't matter. Really. So you think Doug Peterson, get this, you want to see what a fucking idiot he is? So you think Doug Peterson and Frank Reich, not having been backups and played the position, had any impact on how they call plays and how they constructed a game plan? You think none of that? Really? The guy's just a dummy, man. How about this? Who do you think knows more football? Nick Foles or Nick Sirianni? Who do you think knows more ball? The quarterback who executed it or a guy who draws up plays? Who do you think knows? How about this? Who do you think Jalen would trust more? Nick Sirianni or Nick Foles? Who do you think he would trust more? Nick Foles or Kevin Petullo? Oh, and Reyes thinks it's Kevin Petullo. Well, funny. Jalen doesn't trust him now. How you doing? Foles works, at least he knows RPO. Hurts needs an RPO guy. We can all agree on that. That's right. Foles' experience, a huge challenging time, right, to win Super Bowl as a backup. Can you imagine that? Guy took your football team, took over a football team when all of you thought he couldn't do it. And what did he do? He went on to win a Super Bowl. Sills, who's the OC in Indy? Maybe we can get him and have him. Well, the OC in Indy is Shane. Okay? There's a guy with a title that's there, but remember something. Shane calls all the plays there in Indianapolis. Okay? If I'm not mistaken, I think it's Jim Bob Cooter. That's the OC. I might be wrong. I thought it was Jim Bob Cooter that's the OC there in Indy. He's an RPO guy for sure, though. If that's who it is, I thought I heard that earlier in the season, that's who the OC was. I'm not sure. Sills, you're a misunderstood man. People think that you hate her. I don't hate Jalen. I don't know Jalen from a can of paint. I did too at one point. You point out the limitations. Don't BS us. And also acknowledge what makes Hurts good. Right. Absolutely. So this is what you got going on in Philly right now. You know what you got going on in Philly? You got people wanting to bench Hurts. You got people wanting to fire Kevin Petullo. You actually have some Jalenites throwing rocks at Kevin Petullo's house, allegedly. I mean, what the fuck is that? Let's keep it on the field, friends. That's really stupid. That's crazy. Now, again, that's passion. I get it. But there's I want you to hear a word. Fanatic and fan. They're very close to one another. A fanatic is a maniac. A fan is cool. When you become a fanatic and you're throwing rocks at an offensive coordinator, there's kids in the house. I mean, what are you thinking about? I mean, over a run game? Holy shit. Hey, didn't we in 23 have guys with donuts in there? Or no, Nick came out with donuts because they were at the NovaCare and they said, run the ball, Nick. He came out with donuts and coffee. Is that what it was? Holy cow. All right. So I can't wait to hear JAKIB on this. Hey, I want you to see Gary Cobb's face before I bring him up. So let's just pretend Gary Cobb and I are playing on a defense together. Hey, JAKIB, you see the numbers? We gave up 300 yards rushing. What do you mean we gave up 300 yards? In an NFL game, we gave up 300 yards rushing. By the way, the offense had 85 plays. What the hell's the offense doing? It's a ballet routine. 1, 2, 3, kick. You put me out here for a game and a half? What the hell did you expect? I held the team to 24 points at least. I can't wait to hear JAKIB on this because the Chicago Bears beat the shit out of the Eagles on Friday. And I'll say this, belt to ass, Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, they're in a Wawa somewhere on a milk carton that says, if you've seen these guys, call Wayne 800 Howie Roseman. Without further ado, our friend JAKIB from Fox 29 in Philly joins us. Woo! Hey, Gary, how'd you like to walk in that meeting on Monday and know you gave up 281?
Woo!
Yeah.
I tell you what, of course, they limit coaches now of what they could say and stuff, but I tell you, that was disgusting, man. You get embarrassed like that. I mean, you got people, you figured somebody's gonna show up at your house or something. You start talking about that. I mean, just humiliating. I mean, guys are 5 and 6, 10 yards downfield, and you're a defensive tackle. I mean, golly. I mean, I don't see how let that happen. But really, everybody was in on it. It wasn't just them. I thought Vic Fangio, I didn't think they did a good job defensively. I mean, they got taken to the cleaners. I mean, that was the total embarrassment, because, the game was close on the board. I mean, in the game, they still got a chance to win the game, but they got totally embarrassed the way the defense got, you getting pushed around and you let somebody dominate you. That's the kind of stuff you take personally. And
yeah,
I was really disappointed. I mean, I hadn't seen those guys get pushed around like that. I mean, like I said, you're a defensive tackle, and, I can see you hustling downfield, but if you're getting blocked downfield where you're like you out on the expressway and you see the running back going by, that was embarrassing.
Gary, it was 10-9 in the third, though. Even though you were getting run over,
yeah,
the Bears weren't sticking the ball in the end zone.
That's right.
And I say that this was a collateral damage from the offense.
Yes.
With all those 3-and-outs and those limited series that they had.
That fumble, I mean, the turnovers by Jalen. I mean, you're down there, you got a chance to go down and take the lead. You're on the 10 or 11-yard line, and you cough up the ball. I mean, it's just so crazy of a game because, like I said, you are getting embarrassed defensively because they're running the ball down your throat. At the same time, you're still in the game because they're not scoring points. They're going up and down the field, but that was horrific. I mean, to get embarrassed like that, man. I tell you, I know a lot of people have not sat in the meetings. I have sat in the way, back in the day, the way the coaches would embarrass you. You put in that kind of performance. You got people pushing you around. You're 300-some pounds and you're getting pushed around like this. At the same time, like I said, I thought that Vic Fangio had a hand in it because, that offense was really taken to the cleaners with the way that they were running those cutback plays, where the Eagles really had to change the different things they were doing with the linebackers and things because they had them really that coach outcoached them too. They got
Ben Johnson. Look at this, the way that they schemed it up. All right, Gary. So in the city, here's the debate.
Yeah,
bench Hurts or fire Patullo. Who and what side are you on with this?
Oh my God. Well, I don't think you're going to bench Hurts. You know, I don't see how you can do that. I mean,
and I don't think they're firing Patullo either.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, you know, I can see where, you know, because, you know, he's doing what, you know, Nick wants him to do, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, with how they can, you know, the way the offense being run, I mean, golly, but Jalen, though, they did have some opportunities. You know, he had Devontae wide open down there by the goal line. You missed that. Then the other time you go down there and you fumble on the tush push thing, you know you got to put the ball away. You can't be putting the ball out. You can't, you know, and finally, I got to give Chicago credit. The guy was looking for Jalen and that ball.
Yeah.
He's looking for him, and he knocked it out, got the ball out and everything. So, and, you know, it just was an awful preparation. You know, they really came out, you know, and, you know, in football, you just can't just show up, though. You know, like the other sports, you don't have to be so emotionally into the game. Football, you got to be emotionally into the game, man. You got to come knowing that you're in for a fist fight, you know, and that's where you got to be prepared. And clearly they weren't, man. To get the line pushed around like that. I like I said, you see defensive tackles where you're 5 and 10 yards downfield being blocked.
I mean, big time blocked.
Come on, that was embarrassing. So I don't know where they go, man. You know, you got to go have a talk with your players. You got to get better effort than that. You know, the safeties. I mean, I've never seen so horrible tackling where, you know, you got to like, where did they get you from? I mean, the guy, you can't even barely touch. You can't even get two-hand touch on the guy.
Two backs over 130, Gary.
I know. Totally humiliating. And I mean, I haven't seen that. I mean, what we were talking about was a good defense to get humiliated like that. Really, they got to have some talks, man. They got to sit down and really get it together where you got to be emotionally invested where, you know, if you play like that, you're going to get embarrassed by these other teams too.
How do you think Hurts is playing?
Well, he didn't play well. I mean, it was horrible. I mean, I thought he played poorly. He's not really seeing the receivers. Their guys open. He's not seeing them.
Not very accurate right now.
Yeah, you're right. Not very accurate. You know, because and then the thing is, you know, I'm sitting there watching this game. I'm going like, you guys are playing horribly, but you just make one play, you could win this game.
Yep.
And they didn't take advantage of it. I tell you, it's the kind of thing where if it continues this way, you know, then we're back in 2023. You know?
Yeah. I mean,
where you just collapse and everything. At the same time, if you look at the door is wide open. I mean, there's nobody running away with anything. The team now that they just played, the Chicago Bears, are the number one. They would be number one top team in the playoffs right now in the NFC. I mean, and come on, the Bears aren't that good. Come on.
No, I mean, I'm with you. Listen, if I had to go to Chicago and win a playoff game, I don't fear that.
Yeah,
look what happened to the Rams. The Rams got beat by Carolina over the weekend.
I saw that. I mean, I thought really the Rams right now, I figured that they're the best team. And I expected, then you look up, they're losing to the Panthers. Come on. The Panthers are. So I think the door's open. I don't know that this team is going to come back. I mean, I don't see how. I just don't see, offensively.
I don't see a path back to getting the thing on the rails.
I don't know how they're going to do it. You get hear all this talk, people talking about different coaches and different offensive coordinators and all that stuff. You can't do this. That you can't.
It's December 1. You can't be doing that now.
Yeah, you don't have enough time to really change.
No,
and be changing coordinators and everything. If
maybe
you do, it's got to
had a bye. Maybe if they had a bye, Gary, they could maybe contemplate that. But you got to be playing championship football.
That's right. But the thing I would see is somebody on the staff or somebody that runs the same exact system, because you can't change the system this late. What you're doing, you can't do that. So I don't know. their options. And to see a team, this offense to be, to have as much talented as they have, and to look that bad. Even though I have seen them, there was a while last year, they were struggling some. So, but and they still really didn't get the ground game going. I mean, they were able to, run a little bit, but still, you run for 50 some yards. This is really. I tell you, it's hard to stomach these guys, man.
Absolutely. Gary, what's wrong with Barkley?
Well, I think, of course, he's dependent on the line. I thought he did a little better job of getting what's there, but that's what he's got to do now. He can't be trying to run 60, 80-yard run. Look, get the 4 or 5 yards that's there. That's what he's got to do. That's what they got to do is, they're not looking for home runs. You just want to have a running attack. So that, what you do is, you get 4 or 5 yards, whatever you can get, you got to go out there and get, but this, he can't be back there dancing and looking for a 70-yard run, man. That's not reasonable. And hopefully that line, get healthier, every other week. But like right now, I very, very disappointed. I tell you, the guy they're going to be playing against this week, Mekhi Becton, they start to use him. You see how they really miss him, man.
Oh yeah.
He had really was giving them, he was a lot of the muscle they had last year, and now that's kind of missing. You just don't see that same movement that they had last year, where they were blowing holes open, and Saquon's going through them. But Saquon has got to think, though, I'm trying to get 4 or 5 yards. I'm not looking for taking the ball, 60 yards, because that's not reasonable. That's not what they're doing. And as bad as it is, none of these teams are unbeatable.
Let me throw a theory out at you that Eric Dickerson told me years ago, guy you and I played against.
Yeah.
His first 3 years in the league, his first year he went for 390 carries, not counting the playoffs.
Uh-huh.
His second year, he went for 380. His third year, he went for 404. And in that time frame, he went for 5,700 yards in 3 years, which is insane, right? 2105 was in that. You know what he told me after year one? He goes like this. I knew after that year, because in his first year, he had 1,800 yards rushing, which is crazy, right? He went like this. My body was so beat up and was so incredibly painful for me. I knew that to get my body in shape for another 380 career or another 380 year of carrying the football, I had to be in even better shape.
Yeah.
I asked Eric Dickerson over the weekend, what do you think's wrong with Barkley? He goes, he's not in condition to run 390 times 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think there's something? Here's a guy that ran the ball his first 3 years, almost over 400 carries. And he said that Barkley's not in shape to do that. And he's not in shape to do that in consecutive years. Do you agree with that? Don't you? Well, those guys back in that day, Gary, carried the ball 330 times a year, 340. That wasn't uncommon for us to play against guys like that.
That's right. You're right. I can't say that I know that whether he is or he isn't, but I can see the dance.
He never had a year over 275 in carries.
Yeah.
Last year he had 470.
Well, carrying the ball that many times, it's definitely excruciating. I mean, it's tough on the body, but and I know the training and everything. So I don't know what he was doing during the off season. I don't know how much training he was doing. And I can't say that I think that it's just that, because there've been guys in the backfield.
Let me give you the gradings. There's between Landon and Steen and Cam. Right now, Steen is the 4th worst pass protecting offensive lineman in the league. Cam is one of the worst centers in pro football and the 9th worst guard He's Landon Dickerson.
Wow.
So the middle of that offensive line is getting schooled on a week-to-week basis. So it could be a combination of both, don't you think?
Yeah, I think it definitely is that because you know that the line a lot of times he gets the ball. I mean, you got three people, you know, in the backfield. You know, you got guys getting penetration all the time. So I definitely think that's part of it, and I think the way he's running is part of it, which is you can't be back there dancing, man. You know, if you got a line that's dominating, you know, you can do that. You can do that. But if they're not dominating and other teams getting penetration, you can't dance. You got to get to 4 or 5 yards, whatever they got. You got to hit a hole and get what you can. And they were showing there were number of runs he had where there's a hole, he's taking the ball outside. So, but I can't blame it all on him. I think it's shared between the line and Saquon. While the Eagles why they don't have a running game or a decent running game. I mean, and you know, to see the comparison between the two, and to see the Bears running the ball down the Eagles' throat, and then the Eagles, you know, coming out, you know, and they, you know, he did have, you know, a few, you know, 6, 7, 8 yard runs. I mean, but nothing to get all worked up about, and they were throwing the ball a lot. But like I said, just really an ugly game where, you know, you're getting beat, you're getting the ball run down your throat. And even though they're not scoring, guys that, you know, any football players looking at it and going, this is totally, come on, you're letting the ball get run down your throat. So I don't know where this team is going. I mean, they got to show up and they got to play with more passion than that. You got to be putting more into it than they did. That was embarrassing. Even though, you know, you still were in the game and everything, you're totally getting outplayed. The defense had been the one on the side of the ball, what you were saying. Okay, now they're playing hard on that side. But after that game, man, that was their worst game of the year. I mean, that was terrible. I mean, even though they, you know, they gave up more points in one of the games, against the Giants or whatever. But to have somebody run for nearly 300 yards,
man,
that's not
a serious conversation there. Absolutely. Are you concerned now about the defense because of the offense's inability to stay on the field? I mean, Gary, on Friday, you're right. Listen, there's no doubt. 281. Yeah. I mean, you and I look at that as being, that's an offensive thing. When you get run on like that, it's an offensive thing because it's like your manhood is being challenged.
That's right.
You get run over like that. And like you say, you got to have a mentality where that's embarrassing. I get that. They were still in the ball game, third quarter. They were hanging in there. Do you think that offense is systematically destroying that defensive side of the ball? Because, Gary, if they can't get out of 28th on third downs, that thing's going to fall apart even more.
You know, that's why it's I imagine, you know, if they had some cameras and you took them up there and you were able to go into the meetings and tape every meeting and see what they're saying and everything, because this has gotten to the point where I don't see how you go farther off the cliff. I mean, how close do you go to the cliff to be able to fall? You know, now they still got a chance. I mean, they still have a chance. But if they show up and play with that much fire that they had last week, where you basically don't show up emotionally, you know, you just got the uniform out there and everything, but you're not fighting this other team. You can see the emotion that Chicago's playing with, and the way they're whooping your butt. I don't see how I'm almost like I got to step back from this team, you know.
Gary,
this is I don't know where they go, because they got to play with more fire than that, man.
Is the identity of this team closer to the 2023 team or the 2024 team?
Well, right now, you know, we just saw 2023 there on Friday. I mean, to get embarrassed like that, let somebody run for 300 yards on you, and you know, you're still there in the game, and the fact that, you know, they found a way to, you know, to lose that game. I mean, even though that as much as they were being outplayed, they're still there in the game, and you turn the ball over, and, you know, very, very frustrating looking at this squad, man, you know. But they still got a shot, but I got to see something before I could even take these guys seriously anymore.
Do you think Eagle fans, Gary, look at this and do this? Last year, Nick wins the Super Bowl with that team. Do you think that 2023 has left more of a bad taste in Eagle fans and their memory banks more than them even winning the game? Because every time something starts to go sideways, they refer to 23. And to me, that makes me think that the coach look at the coach's mentality, Gary. Shane Steichen, team was good. He was cool. All of a sudden, you get Brian Johnson, not so cool. Okay? His job's in question. A year ago, they win the Super Bowl. Everything's great. You hire a guy, that's a first-year guy. Everything's south, and they're not starting to question the coach again. I mean, this guy is a victim to the coordinators he has in the building. How do I know how good a coach he is? If every year is so up and down like that, how can I tell how good a coach he is?
I only thing you say, hey, he's taking 2 teams to the Super Bowl.
I know, which is crazy.
I know. One of them won.
Gary, was it he that took him to the Super Bowl? Or was he a caboose that went with the team to the Super Bowl?
I mean, this has been such a frustrating team. I mean,
it is.
This team has gone to the Super Bowl twice, but you look at like 23. Who were those guys? Who was that team in 23 that were they won 10? They're 10 and what? They were 10 and 1 or something.
Yeah. Then, who are these guys?
Well, wait a minute. What happened to the team? Where there were people out there in uniforms, but you couldn't identify and go, wait a minute. That's not the same group that's been playing. So that's why how am I gonna know? I don't know.
Hey, Gary, there's bus drivers and there's bus riders. Hey, okay.
Yeah,
bus drivers and bus riders.
Well, I know that down through the road, down through those, through my career, I tell you, I had some defensive coordinators. I would not have want to have to go in there on Monday.
What do you think, Buddy? What would Buddy had said to you guys with 281? What do you think? What would Buddy Ryan have said to you guys on a Monday?
Well, he would have been letting people go. They would have been getting rid of people, and he would have had guys out there running and stuff. But that was man. I don't know. I don't know what he would have done. Really, I could.
Hey,
I don't know what he would have done.
I don't think I've told you this story. So I got released from the Bucks, and I came up to see the Eagles. And the general manager, I had a 3-year contract in front of me. I was going to make the team. And Jerome had talked to everybody. I knew like Norman Brayman, obviously from Miami. Anyway, I'm in there. I work out. I think Jeff Fisher was like the D-line coach or somebody.
He was really defensive coordinator.
Yeah, and
only Buddy was the defensive coordinator, but
So I do all my drills. Jeff Fisher works me out, right? I get a 3-year contract in my hand. I guess you guys got killed on Monday night by the Giants, and Jerome had like this horrible he was just terrible. So they bring me down. They go, okay, I want you to see Buddy because you guys were going out to practice. By the way, what a shitty locker room the vet had for you guys. It was brutal. Anyway, shit was dripping in the lockers. It just was disgusting. I couldn't believe it.
You didn't see any of the cats?
I didn't see the cats. They told me about the cats, but I tell you this, I saw the toilets overflow. It was just
man. Hey.
The whole thing was. So I walk out. He looks me in the face and he goes, "Do you think I want another one of you around here? I know. Do you know? I know who he is. Do you think I know who you are too?" And I go like this, "Get this fucking guy out of here." And I look to Jerome and I go, "You son of a bitch. Are you crazy?" And I was so pissed I signed with the Cowboys. That's a true story, man. I mean, he was so mad the way Jerome took plays off.
Yeah. Well, I know. I mean,
he was pissed off, man.
Yeah, he make he probably had us running, because that's what he does. he would have you run. He would have everybody running, you know, if you had any kind of thing like that. But that was humiliating the way the Eagles defense was playing there the other day. I mean,
Gary,
Jalen Carter,
question.
this was supposed to be a stand-up year for Jalen Carter, man.
Woo!
I mean, come on. Like, you know, this was supposed to be his year where he comes out and, you know, he's getting ready to get his $45 million a year, you know. That's what he's supposed to be doing. I don't know what they're going to be talking about after that performance. You had him, you got big Jordan Davis in there, and both of those guys, it's like, you know, they were playing safety or something, you know.
Hey, Michael Phelps lives, the swimmer. He lives in like the Philly, Baltimore area.
Uh-huh.
I thought them dudes were doing the backstroke.
Yeah, that's
whoa, hey.
That's what it was. It was the backstroke, man.
Them guys were getting the backstroke.
Man, having those guys running, I mean, you know, 10, 15-yard runs. I mean, just running right through them, man.
Man.
You didn't even know. I mean, these guys, you know, barely make a tackle. I mean, they're running the ball right up the gut, man.
Hey, Gary, you're playing linebacker, and I'm playing DT, and you're getting, I mean, surely they had to say something to them dudes where, come on, fellas.
That's right.
You're not going to scrape lane off. How can you play linebacker when your two DTs are getting murdered?
I don't see how you do that. I mean, you know, Nakobe Dean was the one that kind of brought some fire to the team, and I heard him talking afterwards, and you know, he's going to have to go off, man.
Is Carter the most disappointing player on the team this year?
I think right now, yeah, you know, he's you know, he hasn't come out and played the way, you know, you expect him, you know, especially, you know, year he's supposed to be getting a new deal and everything, and you know, it's been really discouraging, but what they got? How many games they got left? 5, 6, whatever.
Let's see here. They're 8-4. They got 4 games left. Do you think this is a one and done team?
Well, right now, I mean, on both sides of the ball. I mean,
they make the playoffs, right? They make the playoffs, right?
Yeah, they're gonna make the playoffs. They're gonna make the playoffs because if they win, you know, out of the last 5 games, if they were to win, you know, 3, you know, you got 11 wins, and with the rest of their division, the guys are not gonna get to 11 wins.
No.
You know,
but here, check this out. If the Cowboys beat the Lions, and the Eagles lose on Monday night to the Chargers, they got a half-game lead in the East.
Is that amazing or what? If they let the Cowboys catch them.
Wow. Hey, if they let the Cowboys catch them, you got to think that Nick's going to take some big heat for that.
Yeah, he would. He would. I wonder what they would do, man.
Oh, they fired Kevin Patullo for sure.
Yeah, well, I think he's probably going.
And I think they would get rid of AJ too.
I could see that. Yeah, I could see them doing a trade and you know, wanting to, you know, just, you know, clear the air and everything. You know, but they got some big contracts, you know, on that offensive side of the ball. I don't know how they can get out from under some of them, you know.
Well, they can't the quarterback because the quarterback has the Eagles hostage. Because you know why, Gary? He has a no trade. You ain't trading him to the Jets.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
All right. Hey, Gary, I can't wait till Monday night, my friend.
Man, they got some big contracts. Not to mention, you know, with Saquon and, you know, all of the offensive line and everything. That's a lot of money, boy, I tell you.
Boy, I'll tell you one thing I've learned today, man. All of a sudden, Philadelphia, Kevin Patullo, man, they hate this guy, and the Jalenites are out in force, man. They got everything going right now, man. Hey, holy God.
And you know, Philly, they're gonna get crazy, man. They're not happy with this, man. You're gonna really probably see some serious banners over there on Monday night, man.
Gary, I will catch you next week, my friend.
No. I think they're out in L.A. They're out in L.A., I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they're
Aren't they out in
SoFi.
LA?
I think they're at SoFi, yeah.
Yeah, SoFi. They're out there. Yeah, they're out there. So, man. Woo!
Hey, man. Okay. Yeah, they're at SoFi. Yep. Here's where they finish with, Gary.
I think there are going to be a lot of people in the area that are going to be getting their therapy, man.
Well, here, get this. They got the Chargers. They'll beat the Raiders. They got the Commanders, and they got Jaden Daniels will be back for both those games. And in the middle there, they got the Bills. Bills got to play their ass off, too, because Patriots play tonight. Patriots got a commanding lead in that AFC. They're fighting for a playoff spot now. So the Bills,
you're right.
That game at Orchard Park might actually mean a lot more for both teams.
That's true.
Okay.
That is true.
Yeah, and depending on what Dallas does.
Yeah. And I see that the Commanders, they play hard last night. I saw them, they're playing hard. Yeah. So, they figure, hey, if we can't go, we don't want you to go either.
That's how I play it.
Yeah. And usually those guys that do that, they're like, hey, if we can't party, we don't want you guys to party either.
The year the Cowboys went 1-15, Jimmy was in the locker room going, this is our playoffs. And they beat the Redskins that year and knocked the Redskins out of the playoffs that year. Remember, they went 1-15. Mm-hmm. That was the game that knocked the Redskins out of the playoffs.
I tell you that, I know, Washington, man, if they wouldn't have anything to play for, if we can knock those guys out.
Especially Josh Harris owning the team.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
They would love to do that. But I tell you, boy, this was
Can you imagine if the Eagles were to split and have this record right now in the NFC East? They would be 3-3 in the East if that plays out like that. Do you know right now the Dallas Cowboys have a better divisional record than the Eagles do? They're 3-1.
Is that so?
Yep. Philadelphia doesn't have a better record because they're 2-2. They split with Dallas and they split with New York.
It's just reminiscent of 23.
It is. It's got a 23 feel to it, my friend. We'll catch you next week.
Hey, I hope it gets better than this, man. If it doesn't, who knows? I might be out of the country.
JAKIB, we'll catch you next week, my friend. Thank you so much, man.
Hey, have a good one.
You got it. That is Gary Cobb. What is going on in Philly? Hey. Oh, my God. This shit's burning down, man. Holy cow. Hey, I got people blowing my X account up, which is phenomenal. You're this, you're that, you're a hater, this and that. I'm like, I'm not a hater or nothing. I don't give a shit. I'm just commenting. Hey, all I do is comment on your play, which was dog shit on Friday. Hey, wait a minute here. Let me go here and take a look at this again. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, I don't mean to do that. Eagle fans, I didn't mean to go. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah. I don't want to remind you of Dak and how good Dak's playing. So here are the numbers here. Eagles had 14 first downs. You were 4-12 on third down. You had 50 plays in the game. They had 85. They ran 35 more plays. Oh, my God. They ran 35 more plays than you in the game. They had 281 in rushing on 47 attempts. You had 17 attempts. You stopped running for 87 yards. You had 7 stupid penalties again. 2 turnovers in the game. How many times was His Highness sacked? Let me see. Oh, His Highness wasn't sacked in the game. Good for him. Well, one of the only few games that he wasn't. Whew. Does this feel like 23? Man. I don't know. We know the problems What is the solution? Okay? There is no solution. Not until the offseason. What do you want to do? Put Tanner McKee in? That's not an answer. What do you want to do? Fire Patullo? That's not an answer. That's a panic. You made this bed. This is who you are. You're going to win the rest of the way like this. You can't be making decisions. You got to do better. Look, you're 8-4. You're still in it. You're not out of it. And then what? Put Nick in? That's not going to solve the problem. This is Nick's philosophy. Nick's not going to change his mentality with Jalen. They're going to continue to try to run the ball. Seals, has there been guys who performed better in playoffs than in the regular season? Yeah, Eli. I think Eli Manning's one of them guys. Shit, I think Nick Foles is one of them guys. As a matter of fact, I don't really think Patrick Mahomes has performed great in Super Bowls. I thought he performed pretty good in the other games, the divisional games. I mean, you know, I don't think, and in the conference championship games. But, yeah, no. You have proven yourself to have the best and most accurate credibility on what's on with this Birds team. Please keep inviting Angelo, too. Best to you, sir. Thank you, my friend. That's what the hat says. That's what the hat says. Dan Sileo was right on everything. Oh, yeah. There it is. Look at it. Look at that. Yeah. Nice red hat. Dan Sileo was right on everything. How you doing? Would you buy that hat? Shit. You talk to Frank, but at the end of the day, you don't know what is going on to do with the Eagles until he tells you. My friendship with Frank Reich is more important than me being a so-called reporter or a guy who's got some insight. He's been my friend since I was 19 years old. Me and Frank and Boomer Esiason and this guy by the name of Victor Kronberg used to drive up on the Jersey Turnpike, and we would go from College Park back home. We would drop Boomer off. We would drop Frank off. And Pete Kotz, the guy that's in the Clint Eastwood movie, The Swede, was also in the car. So we had Boomer, Swede, Frank, and me. And we would go back and forth between New York and College Park, Maryland. You know, the Swede in, what was the name of that movie? Heartbreak Ridge. And Pete's a dear friend of mine. I played with him on the defensive line at Maryland. And I was his backup. I was a freshman. And so we'd go back and forth. And I've known Frank that long. I'm going to kill you, break your freaking head. They filmed that at Camp Pendleton, by the way, in case you're keeping score. Okay? If the Eagles show no fight versus the Chargers, then I'll shut up. I'm not ready to believe they have given up. I don't believe they've given up. We'll see on Monday. Dude, I don't believe they've given up. I just think they got ran over. Better. Thanks for asking. He's doing a lot better. Kozar is doing. Bernie's doing. He's been discharged from the hospital and he's back home. So he's doing a lot better. So Eagle fans are crazy, but couldn't this shit be weird of any fan base? How do we go to a Super Bowl collapse? Super Bowl collapse. It's the way you hire coordinators. It's the way you do business. Wait a minute. Let's put this in context here before we get Xander up. You took a blowtorch to your defense. You hired a first-year coordinator. You replaced him with John McMullen's Timu guys. I mean, what did you think was going to happen? You basically took apart a Super Bowl team because Howie was looking at 26 and 27. Not that's wrong. Not that that's wrong. Because guess why? Howie knew the league wasn't that good this year. That's kind of insight. Hey, guess what? We're going to take a step back, but not a step back where we're not in contention. He's been right. If you think about it, Howie has taken a step back, but not so much that the league is past the Eagles. You're still in the conversation. After watching the Rams get beat, okay? I mean, do you buy the 49ers? I don't think I do. Anyway, all right. I'll tell you what, I got to do this here, man, because I've been watching all day long here, man. Fire fucking Patul. All of a sudden, everybody's got this crazy epiphany. I'm not shocked. I know the quarterback's limited. I know the play caller sucks. I know the head coach is a fucking do-man. I know all this. Howie's the guy. Without further ado. By the way, the greatness of John McMullen. I love working with John. That was fun on our post game. And you just heard Gary Cobb. Hey, dude, you run 281 yards on me. You don't have a right to open your fucking mouth to talk about other teams. That's embarrassing. Without further ado, my friend, Big C, Xander Krause joins us now. Look at this. I got all this shit over here too, still. Oh, my God.
What's up, Sills? How you doing, brother?
All right, man. It's post-Turkey Day, bro. Have you been able to swallow your Thanksgiving Day meal over the weekend in your seconds after what happened to the Eagles on Friday?
Yeah, it's an interesting team, though, isn't it, man? It's a weird team, this Eagles team. They stink. They look like they stink, at least, and they drop a game to the Bears. Yeah, I swallowed my food. I'm all right, man. I'll live. It's all good.
Yeah, but I mean,
conversation, no.
Well, here's my problem with the team, though. Okay, I mean, are you on the side of Patullo or benching Hurts? Do you fire Patullo? Do you bench Hurts, or do you do none of that?
Well, yeah, I think you're probably going to do none of it, to be real. But I think Patullo is less of a problem than Jalen, and I think he's less of a problem than Sirianni as well. I mean, if you have a problem with the offensive approach or the play calling or any of those things, I would direct that to Nick Sirianni. You know, not now. I don't think Kevin Patullo has a good feel for the game, but I really don't think he's the problem number one. So if your problem is all play calling based or offensive philosophy based, that to me belongs, on Nick Sirianni, not Kevin Patullo. If your problem is execution, which many people are, and rightfully so. I mean, you watch players run open. You saw Devontae Smith open in that game. I mean, you see players open in this offense consistently, especially if you're watching from the Sky cameras or the All 22 cameras. Then I think you got to put Jalen Hurts first. I mean, I'm kind of in between both of them. I think Jalen has been a pretty big letdown, especially the last 4 weeks. But I'm also not of the belief that we got like some superstar coaching staff. I'm just not. You know what I mean? Like you said, I don't know how good Nick, even if it is Jalen Hurts' problem or fault, like how good of a coach really is Nick Sirianni? I don't know. I don't think he's all that great of a coach. He's never really wowed me, but he has been to two Super Bowls in the last 3 years. But he could also he could also have 2 collapses in the last 3 years, depending on how this season goes. So, dude, it's highs and lows with this team. They hate the middle, right? It's either great or it's brutal with this football team.
Okay, so and I disagree with Angelo on this. It's the OC.
Angelo.
I disagree, and I'll tell you why. So when I watch Matthew Stafford and I watch Sean McVay with an offensive game plan, dude, they're chucking that ball down the field because that's what Stafford does well, right? Throws the ball from the pocket well.
Yeah.
Okay, when I watch Joe Brady and Josh Allen, they have a multiple RPO type offense. He runs the ball. He throws the ball. Those guys have curtailed an offensive game tack and game plan to those guys' skill sets. Doesn't the coordinator expose Hurts for his limitations? That the reason why the coordinator and the playbook is so thin is because the play caller can't open the playbook up because one, either the quarterback doesn't want it opened up, or the coordinator is going to the skill set. Like Xander, a batting instructor, a hitting instructor in baseball, in Major League Baseball, is not going to change your batting stance.
Yeah, no, I got you.
He's going to tell you some of the fundamental things that you're doing wrong, maybe that can help you out to maybe see the ball better, stand up in the batter's box. One thing that Pete Rose used to tell me all the time, don't ever change your swing, son. That's what got you to the big leagues. And so the OC, I think he's a pawn in it.
I do too. I've always thought that because I've known that Patullo was never going to have as much say as people thought, And by the way, this was true with Kellen Moore too. Don't you remember totally. They ran Kellen Moore's scheme for the first 4 games? Jalen had 7 turnovers. They were 2-2, and the offense was sputtering. Bye week, they switched. They went conservative. They went risk averse. This is where this offense was created, and then we had a really bad passing game last year. So, I think more for Patullo. The thing that I don't understand with the organization, and it's really proven your one take correct of they don't hire coaches for Jalen Hurts. They hire coaches for Nick Sirianni, which maybe there's a lot more to talk about there than just a bad decision for Jalen. I think that maybe shows you what the organization wants as a whole or at large. But they don't hire coaches for Jalen. I mean, Kevin Patullo has been the passing game coordinator for 4 years. Stills, find me one time in the last 4 years you've had a good passing game. Even in 22 when Hurts was an MVP candidate, they weren't even a top half of the league passing game. I think they were like 16th or 18th or something like that. I mean, this has been your passing game coordinator for 4 years, and you've objectively stunk pretty bad at passing the ball for 4 years in comparison to the other teams in the league. I mean, why hire that guy? Especially if you don't have a passing quarterback. Now, it brings me back to the original, though. The original start of this regime. They hired Nick Sirianni to fix Carson Wentz. They did not hire him to make Jalen Hurts the starter. Anybody that says otherwise is living in a revisionist world. They wanted Carson Wentz, after being benched by Doug Peterson, to come back, resurrect his career, and continue on the path he was on.
And explain to people that those two guys have 2 different skill sets.
Wait, it's so different, it's not even funny. And then what happened was Carson Wentz played bully, said, I'm not playing for your organization. Howie was forced to move him. He got the conditional deal with the Colts. They sent him to Indianapolis, by the way, where he had 27 touchdowns and 7 picks. Jalen was a starter for 1 year. And then they again tried to move to Deshaun Watson and Russell Wilson. They had a massive deal on the table for both of those guys.
And 2 first-rounders. Don't forget they had going into that next April draft.
For both of them. Russell didn't want to play in Philly, and Deshaun was friends with Jalen and didn't want to take his job. Now, 22 happened. Jalen went on to be an MVP candidate. He solidified his deal, and they doubled down on it there. I'm just saying, the original idea of not only Nick Sirianni, but of the general manager and the owner was not to have Jalen Hurts as the face of the franchise.
Correct.
Not to have Jalen Hurts as your starting quarterback. Now you see Nick Sirianni brings in Kellen Moore. Nick Sirianni brings in Kevin Patullo. Like, how many more passing guys are they going to bring in until we all realize, guys, they want to pass the football?
Yeah.
And the way they run offense right now is because of the quarterback. Yeah. Now, this is where I differ from them and what I believe they should have done or should do. Okay, Jalen is paid, and Jalen is the face of the franchise. Fucking build on him, or let him go out there and throw. If he falls flat on his face, at least we know. Like, we don't even know right now because we're like, they got Jalen playing this bullshit-ass offense with no complex nature to it. They're not trying to push the ball through the air properly. They don't have a good running game. And I understand people who are like, how the hell can we judge Jalen Hurts right now with this crappy offense? I understand that. It's because of Jalen. But if they want to figure out where we stand, or if we do have Jalen and we are stuck with Jalen, or Jalen's going to be the quarterback for the next couple of years, dude, figure out what the problem is. You know what I mean? And until they do that, I think they're doing everybody a disservice by playing this bitch ball. Maybe they'll change something. Who knows? How many losses will it take for them to change something?
No way. No way. December 1st? Not changing that. You think Barkley's a one-year wonder?
How do you define a one-year wonder in his case? I mean, I don't think he's ever going to do what he did last year again. But I think he was
okay. I thought he was okay in New York. I didn't think he was spectacular in New York.
Yeah, and maybe I was wrong. I mean, I thought most of why he was okay in New York and was not great was.
Well, I think there's
running back. Do you agree with this premise? Running back is similar to receiver in that it relies on people around you to be successful. Receivers rely on the vehicle getting them the football, the quarterback. Running backs rely on, in a way, the offensive line, the coordinator, all those different things. So I always thought how he played in New York wasn't exactly indicative of how good he was as a player, So I put a little bit of like a curve on his New York performance. And then you see him with a great offensive line, but it was kind of the tale of two extremes. You had shitty New York, and then you had one of the best offensive lines in the NFL history, as pointed out by a former GM who said that to John McMullen last year. He runs for 2,000. Now they're back to the middle of the Paco line, and he looks like a below-average running back right now. I mean, that's just a fact. He's a below-average running. He's under average and under 4 yards a carry, 60 yards a game, or whatever it is right now. It's not very good. Yeah, I mean, I think you're seeing the 1 year right now is the outlier until he proves otherwise.
Okay, so Mark Tuinei was a free agent. Kevin Gogan was a 7th rounder. Crawford Kerr was a 3rd rounder. And their other offensive tackle for the Cowboys before Emmett showed up was a free agent. Those guys were all signed by Tom Landry. Guys were nobody. Emmett comes in. Those guys become the greatest offensive line since the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they're considered the greatest line. So Emmett changed their lives.
Yeah, that's fair.
Being that guy.
Well, Saquon isn't Emmett. I think we know that.
Yeah, well, get this. Because those guys were better even before he showed up. Why? Miles Sanders was a Pro Bowler. DeAndre Swift was a Pro Bowler. It wasn't Saquon. It was the O-line. You know who's regressed? Saquon hasn't regressed, dog. The O-line has.
I know, but Saquon might have too.
What, reverted back to what? New York Saquon?
Yeah.
Because the O-line is no longer that. I gave you the grades.
Yeah, but this is
and
silly.
Landon and Cam have been brutal this year.
Bro, this is exactly why. John used to say something on Birds 365 last year, and he says it this year too. And people have such a hard time hearing it or grasping it. Teams don't want to play this way because look how hard it is to maintain. If your offensive identity in the modern NFL is bully ball, running the football like the Eagles did last year, it's very hard year in and year out to have everything perfect around the quarterback, to have the great running game, to have the perfect offensive line, to have all of those different things. You're going to see this type of fluctuation year to year. The best way to overcome that in NFL terms is to have a passer. They make it easier. Rams offensive line goes up and down. Matthew Stafford still got that offense good. You know what I mean? I think that's how they view it, and this is why it's so hard to play the way the Eagles have played because it's hard to keep it good every year, dude. It is.
I'm going to take – Emrayes just said something that reminded me of this, and I'm going to ask you this right now. Do you think last year with all the fanfare and the Offensive Player of the Year award that Saquon won and the face of the offense a year ago, one of the reasons that Hurts doesn't want to run – I brought this up earlier – is because he doesn't want Barkley to be the face of the offense. Barkley was the face. Barkley was the – well, dude, I got now people telling me, Jeff McClain's telling me, guy doesn't want to run the ball.
Well,
he doesn't want to run.
Well, wait, I don't want to conflate
his inability to run the ball right now this year, it's dramatic compared to what he's done.
Yeah.
All right, don't you think him not running the ball has affected Barkley's ability to run the ball like he did a year ago too?
Yes, but remember this, because I want to come back to that topic on just Jalen, not as it impacts Barkley, because I think that's a big topic. Like that to me is the biggest concern right now in Jalen Hurts, that report. But as far as Barkley, yeah, I mean, when you don't have the +1 in the run game, and I don't think teams are respecting it as much
They're
anymore, it
not.
completely changes things. I don't think it's the biggest reason. I mean, I don't think it's like, if he started running, Saquon would go crazy again. I don't think that, but I do think it's had an impact for sure to some extent. I don't know, maybe 25%, something like that.
Okay. So what about the report that you're hearing of Jalen doesn't want to be a guy involved really in the run game, and he wants to be a pocket passer? And I said this prior to going on the air to you. If that's his mentality, he's a below average quarterback because he is not a pocket passer.
If that's his mentality, that's a big problem. That's a big problem because that one, it shows you that.
You think that's why the coaches are frustrated now too, and that's why they're making that known?
Potentially. I mean, but like, look at this comment. Roll says Hurts wants to do whatever it takes to win. Well, Roll, if that report is true, then he lied. He doesn't. Yeah. He doesn't want to do whatever it takes.
That's right.
He wants to do it his way.
That's right.
And his way right now is responsible for the bottom offense in pro football. One of the bottom offenses in pro football. So Jalen Hurts is a great runner. Taking that away makes literal zero sense. I mean, I don't understand how anybody doesn't see that. That's like taking away Steph Curry's 3-point shot. That's you don't do that. Jalen Hurts is an amazing +1 in the running game in the offense, and it makes defenses, struggle to play the team. It opens up the passing game too because they got to keep a man in the box, to spy Jalen Hurts if he's killing you with his legs. So that to me is a huge problem. And, I personally don't think Jalen is good enough to play explicitly pocket passing, quarterbacking. I don't think that's his skill set. I don't think that makes a lot of sense for him. I don't think he's ever been that type of quarterback. The only time he was kind of that type of quarterback was like Oklahoma when you're in the Big 12. And guess what? The Big 12.
You throw it every down.
Yeah, you can throw every down. And
no defenses.
No defenses anywhere. I mean, this isn't Oklahoma. So that to me is a huge problem. And that shows you it's like, maybe some of those reports that they only run these certain plays for a reason have more credence. Because if Jalen is dictating that he doesn't want to run the football or have play design runs and they're giving in on that, then what's he also telling them about certain passing concepts or have to play? I mean, you have heard some reports. Some people don't want to believe them, but you've heard reports of the playbook is small because Jalen wants it to be small. He's not comfortable with a bunch of passing concepts.
Well, look at the offenses, and this is where Reyes is wrong again. As a collective group, they're 27th a year ago. They're 27th again this year. As a unit, they suck. I don't give a fuck what you think his numbers are. I'm talking about you win with the group. You don't win by yourself. Ask Josh Allen. You don't fucking win by yourself, bro. I mean, it's a group thing. As a unit, they're the 28th worst successful offense in pro football.
Yeah, did you see that stat?
28th
I don't even know what that is, but yeah.
And least successful offense in the league. And that's with him at the helm. I mean, come on, man. What are you talking about here? He's like success. What success?
Well, remember though, here's the thing, because I think it brings up an even bigger conversation of like Jalen would have to develop more to be a pocket passer exclusively. And then you have like that word of like, all right, one, he's 6 years in. How much development are you doing at this point? Leave that aside for a second.
Yeah.
Any development in anything in life, whether you're an NFL quarterback or you're a talk show host or you're, a waiter, a waitress at a restaurant, whatever you do, development means failure. The only way to develop in something is to learn by trial and error and failure. This team is not built to develop a player right now. They're built to win. Developing quarterbacks is for shitty rosters. Yes, developing quarterbacks is for the New York Giants of the world. It's for the Titans of the world. It's not for the Eagles.
No.
So, like, if you're sitting here telling me, well, they should just let Jalen develop in the pocket. Bro, I think they've identified this is a window to win, and we want to put Jalen in whatever the best offense to win now is as compared to letting Jalen develop in the pocket. You get what I'm saying by that?
Totally.
They're too good for that, man. They can't do that.
The only thing Hurts can get right now is smarter. He can't get any better skill set wise. Than what he's doing.
Well, remember though, here's the thing. Because I think it brings up an even bigger conversation of like, all right, one, he's 6 years in. How much development are you doing at this point? Leave that aside for a second. Yeah.
And you know what he's done? He made sure to protect the football. There's no question about that. Okay, let me ask you one thing right now. What's the one thing as a skilled quarterback Jalen does great right now? Can you name me one?
One what? His skill set?
As a skill set quarterback.
Yeah,
what's
I don't
the
have
one thing he does great right now?
Great? I mean, I view great as top 25% of the league.
Okay. Does well.
Deep ball, Kibo. Every deep ball I watch is underthrown.
No shit.
What are you
Or
talking about?
overthrown.
Kibo, really? I mean, I know that was a narrative for a little bit that Jalen was a great deep ball thrower. I mean, I don't see
They
that.
don't
Maybe
threaten the
you
deep
see it. I don't.
passes. And if they're deep passes, they look like fucking punts.
I think the turnovers is a fair one. He protects the football great. He's
Okay.
got one of the best ratios in the league.
Okay.
We could argue why that is, but you know.
Okay. So
I
he
think
doesn't
that's
turn the
one.
ball over. Do you really think that takes skill?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I limit you in passes, throwing 5-yard outs, and I limit the ability for you to have
that's why
turnover
we can
play.
argue about why he has that, but he still has it.
Yeah, he has it because they set him up for it.
Well, remember though, their record when he doesn't turn the ball. That's why I mean, like, people are wondering why don't they let Jalen develop in the pocket, bro? Because they're 40-2 and they don't turn the ball over, and they have a great roster. They view win now. They're not looking to develop Jalen Hurts right now. This isn't the 2020 Eagles, man. This is a different era, different beast.
I don't think Angelo I don't think that Gary got what I'm going to say, and I'm going to ask you this. I think that Saquon Barkley wasn't prepared for this coming season this year. I talked to Eric Dickerson over the weekend. I said, what's wrong with Dickerson? You know what he said? I mean, what's wrong with Barkley? You know what he said? He wasn't conditioned physically to play another 400 carry year. And I went, what do you mean? He goes, after my first 390 carry year, my first year, I got out of that season and I was fucking fried. I had to train so hard. And guess what he did? He came back the following year, went for 2105. He said, dude, training for 350 carries, he hadn't carried the ball 300 times ever in his career. He went 460. He goes,
well, and you remember the comment
he wasn't prepared to play that. His body's not prepared to go there.
Remember the comment Barkley made this summer?
I'm sorry?
Remember the comment Barkley made this summer?
No.
I'm taking it easy. You grew up.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, you know what Dickerson
Add
did?
that in with every commercial in the book, Pure Auto, Madden, all these different things. President hangouts, driving around on Air Force One.
Yeah.
You know, he's doing all this bullshit, not getting ready for the season, and now he doesn't look all that
He's
good.
not in shape.
You can't. Yeah, I mean, look, you can't.
I'm talking about carry shape, not in treadmill shape.
Yeah,
running shape. I'm talking being hit.
Yeah.
Do you get this? So Dickerson went for 390, 380, 404. He said, and he gave 5,700 yards in 3 years. 3 years, almost $6,000. Okay, in 3 years. That's as many yards as Barkley has his entire career. But he said he was conditioned. I think all that bullshit off the field. I don't think Saquon Barkley was conditioned to play because Eric Dickerson said you have to have a mental and physical approach to carrying the ball 350 times a year. He goes, when I watch him, he goes like this. He goes, you know why he's indecisive? Because he's looking for the easy lane instead of just hammering it in there. He's looking for the easy lane.
He hops through the football. Why does he do that?
He says yeah.
I was watching the easy lane. I saw somebody tweet about this on X, and when I'm rewatching the Bears game, I was looking at it. Like DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monungai, 7th round rookie, when they get the handoff, they're in full sprint. So they get the ball and they're trained in motion. Objects in motion stay in motion. What is that? Newton's law? Who's got the science in the chat? All right. Saquon, when he's getting the handoffs, he's hopping through them.
Yeah.
So instead of having his legs moving, he's coming out of a hop, looking where to go next. There's no consistency to his legs going. I don't understand why he's doing that.
Anytime you stop your feet in football, you're beat.
Yeah, exactly. Especially the NFL.
You stop
So
your
I don't know
feet,
why
you're
he's
done.
doing that, but I think it's a big. I think I've noticed that. I mean, you should everybody rewatch some plays and just look at he hops through the ball. It's weird. It's almost like he's so used to being great at juking that he can juke around guys, but he hops through the ball. It's odd. I don't know why he does that.
I got to tell you something, man. The last or the last month of the football, I got to tell you, I'm going to say it one more time to you, and I know that everybody in Philadelphia probably not going to like this, but hey, I'll tell you what, Jalen Carter's lost a shitload of money in my eyes. I mean, no way. Dude, he was getting drilled. I watched the 22. He was 7 yards off the fucking ball. Now, I know the Bears have a good old line, but this was all day. I'm surprised Zach Bond and Nakobe made any plays.
Oh, they were terrible.
Both guys were in the way. Moro Ajomo, Jalen Phillips, every single one of those guys. I haven't seen a defensive line get destroyed like that in quite some time. I mean, when you walked into that meeting on Monday and you saw Vic and you saw Clint Hurt, I didn't even text Clint because I mean, I don't have to text somebody. And do you understand that between me and John, what John and I got into a conversation with, I wasn't disagreeing with John. My problem was as a defensive tackle, okay, you have no room to bring anybody's name up or say anything about anybody when you have 300 yards fucking jammed down your face like that and you're getting knocked off the ball and you're a windmill. You have no room to talk about anything. Hey, I was a really little bit disappointed and hey, dude, shut the fuck up. You got annihilated on Friday after Thanksgiving for the nation to see you.
That was your Miami boy. That was Jalen Phillips.
Hey, I told you to keep an eye on that injury on that shoulder.
Yeah. No, I completely understood what you were saying. Like, the point isn't that they're better in
No.
Detroit. I don't give a shit about that. The point is you just got ran for 280. You don't have the right to say who's better than who.
Hey, really? I mean, where are you coming from with that?
Yeah, you lost your card there, brother.
Yeah, you don't have any. Hey, what do you make of Carter? How are you feeling about him if you're Howard?
Yeah, I talked about this morning on Xander Time. It's it's disappointing because you look at Jalen Carter and you see the talent. You're like, the guy could dominate the NFL. And you compare him to the way some of these other guys around the league prepare and work out and prep their body. Like, let's call a spade a spade.
When I watched Quinnen Williams play, I was like, fuck, that's it.
Yeah, but even Carter, like, dude, he's kind of like, he's fat. Like he could be in way better shape. Have you seen Aaron Donald work out? Have you seen these dudes? Even a guy like Jared Verse right now in LA. Oh, man. I mean, these dudes prepare their body. And look, that's not to say Jalen Carter's not talented. By the way, I think they're going to pay him, and I think they should. The question for me is just how much do you go? Because he's still a great player. But he's got this bad attitude. He's pretty immature a lot of times. And, I mean, anybody who's looking at Jalen Carter, I think you can all realize that dude could be in a lot better shape. He's relying on talent instead of working. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Jalen Carter's got to work a little hard. He's got to get in the gym, man. So, unfortunately.
It takes no talent to be in shape. It takes willpower. Okay, it takes willpower.
Discipline. It's hard. Yeah, you got to work out every single day. Yeah,
when the lights aren't on and you got to train and it's raining out and shit, you got to go out there and get that fat body, get in shape.
He does get held a lot, but like we talked about this a little bit ago, just Mike, the problem with that, and I agree with you, by the way, he does get held a lot. He kind of ruined his reputation with the refs. And reputation matters on getting calls, man.
I'll tell you one thing, too. You guys disagreed with me. Having Josh Sweat and Milton Williams playing on that line, you guys thought that there'd be less double teams? Who thought that? Who thought that there'd be less double teams? I mean, what do you make of this Charger team? 5-7 coming in. Quarterback's got a broken hand. Left hand, though. By the way, you know what you're going to see in this game? What's the one thing you're going to see Monday night? What's the one thing you are going to see Monday night?
What, with the Chargers?
A shitload of shotgun because of the quarterback's injury to his left hand.
Yeah, that's true. And remember that they're coming off a game where they ran the ball well.
It's the Raiders, but okay.
Yeah, all right, whatever, bro. We just gave up 280. As far as I'm concerned, we've lost the ability to say we're worse than the Raiders.
Fair enough.
especially at stopping the run. So,
And the Chargers have won 5 of 7.
yeah, they're 8-4 too.
Yeah.
And we're 8-4. Everybody tells me, "Oh, we're still 8-4, Xander. Relax." Man, Chargers are 8-4. You know,
Yeah,
they're
get
9-3.
Denver's 10-2, and they got like a 2-game lead in that division.
I know.
You got
I know.
Kansas City fighting for their lives in that division. I mean, how do you feel about that Charger team coming in with a guy like Herbert? Now he's banged up a little bit, but doesn't affect his passing arm. I mean, but hey, on the other side of the ball, guess who you got coming in too? Derwin James. Derwin James. Homie can hit.
He's good player. Well, I'm going to use a quote I got from the post game show, Sills. Kyle Kokorski, are you out there? Kyle, if you're here, I appreciate you. Kyle said something to me because I was talking to him about, you know, the Eagles getting the NFC East. And I'm like, dude, we got the Raiders in there. We got the Commanders. We got some easy games.
Get the Bills too.
And Kyle said this to me. He said, it's not who you're playing. It's how the Eagles are playing. Yeah. In other words, right now, the opponent doesn't really matter, dude. It doesn't really matter. I don't think we're capable of blowing anybody out. No, I mean, even that Chargers-Raiders game yesterday took the Chargers at least a half of football to 7-7 at halftime, if I'm not mistaken.
Genty's been pretty decent for them. And by the way, that Bowers kid for the Raiders is going to be a handful for the Eagles. That Brock Bowers kid,
he's a beast.
Fucking play.
Oh, you get him on Reed's stinking ship. Oh, we're cooked.
Oh my God, is he good, dude? Holy cow.
That guy's good, man. He's probably the best tight end in football.
Oh, he is best tight end in football.
Yeah, he's probably the best tight end in football already, which is crazy. What's he, year 2?
Yeah, this is second year. He broke the rookie record that was held in 1963.
Now, I don't know if they have the vehicle to get him the ball with Geno. I liked Geno in Seattle, but
he had 100 catches. Geno wasn't there a year ago. That's right. Okay. What do you make of the defense?
I think the dam broke, brother. I'm really not mad at him.
Wait. I think you're right. I heard John this morning. John goes like this, man, I was really disappointed in the defense. I'm like, you were calling them a Timu defense. Now you're disappointed in them?
Yeah, but
how are you disappointed in a Timu defense? I mean, Xander, were your expectations going to be really that you replaced 5 starters off the Super Bowl? You thought they were going to be like a world-beating team like they were
Let me ask you, bro. Like, they played the Cowboys on Sunday night, and they had 68 snaps, the defense. 68 snaps.
That's a lot.
Remember, the Eagles didn't score for 41 minutes in that game. 41 minutes. Then they come out on a short week on a football Friday, and they play 81 plays. Now, they were getting gashed in the running game before it got up to 81. They had 140 yards against them in the first half. So they weren't great all game. But, I mean, the dam broke. Dude, this defense has been – A.J. Brown's been telling us all year. The defense is holding this team together. It can't be like that much longer. I think the dam broke. I'm not saying it's an excuse. 280 is brutal, but I don't think the defense can hang much longer.
How do you think that defense held up on a short work week, giving up 155 plays? They had 155 plays on a short work.
That's insane. That's what I mean. Like I'm sorry.
That's the offense's fault.
Yes, that is insane amount of plays in 5
That's
days.
on the offensive play caller, the quarterback, the head coach. You gave up 155 plays that your defense had to go out there. And by the way, how many points did they give up in the Cowboy game? What did they give up in the Cowboy game? Do you remember what the number was in the Cowboy game? What was it? 20
running yards in that game? I think Cowboys had a buck 25.
The score, 24?
24-21, yep.
Okay, and they gave up another 24. You're telling me they only gave up 48 points and you had 153 plays that you had? I think that's fucking good.
That's what I'm saying. I tried telling that to John. I'm like, John, I get it. The defense gave up a lot of running yards. It was 10-9 in the fourth quarter.
I saw that.
Like, bro, Jalix Hunt got an interception in the second half that delivered the Eagles offense the ball in plus territory, and Jalen fumbled the tush push. They could have taken the lead right there.
My wife is watching the game with me. She goes, they're out there 180 plays. What'd you expect them to do?
Right. Look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you.
Right, I'm not giving them a hall pass either.
Yeah, I'm not giving them a hall pass, but I do think that some of this stuff is a very simple explanation for why they have been worse the last couple of weeks. I mean, they're gassed, dude. They're gassed. Right. That defense is gassed. We are a leader in 3-and-out. We had another 4 3-and-outs on Friday. I mean, this offense, man, we're getting got right now. I don't know do you think they turn it around?
No way. I think they slow it down.
All right, they got 5 games left. What's the record?
3-2.
All right, I said 2-3 this morning.
Well, I got my 11 wins. I think they go 3-2.
Yeah, my win prediction's way off. They'd have to win out to get mine. That's not happening.
How much of this do you think they're looking at AJ's attitude and affecting the locker room and all this? Does that play a factor at all in? Because you know,
AJ, I'm showing up to the next press conference with a big sign that says "I was right." Fuck all you idiots.
Are you going to put a big Sills hat on? You going to put a big Sills hat on?
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, AJ Brown was right about everything.
Right about everything.
Yeah, make 2 of them. AJ version and a Sills version. I mean, AJ said exactly what AJ said is what's coming to fruition.
Oh,
and you're going to have people go, oh, my gosh, he tweeted it. It's such bad professionalism. Shut up. The problem is the problem. And the problem is what's going to get the football team, not the fact that he tweeted. All right? It's that the offense can't move the ball to save their life. And by the way, the only time we've scored in the last 2 games is when we go to A.J. Brown. That's it. It's the only time we move the ball is when we target A.J. Brown. So maybe we should go to more of that and knock them off of it. And by the way, one comment we got to make about this Rams team. You know, I keep getting this comment all day. Look at Philadelphia crying. How come the Rams lose and you guys don't bring, for one, we're an Eagles show. We're not a Rams show. And second of all, Killa, that's a one-off, okay? The Eagles offense has sucked for 12 games, my friend. Well, the Rams had 1 bad game.
Wait, Carolina.
28 touchdowns.
Carolina
beat. It's an outlier.
No, Carolina went up to Green Bay and beat the fuck out of the Packers, and they beat the piss out of the Rams. They're not a great team, but they're a good team. How about this? You got 2 teams on your resume where you beat Green Bay. Oh, don't forget they also beat Dallas. So don't tell me that they're bad. Okay, they beat Dallas, Green Bay. They're not great.
The Rams are a good football team.
Oh, they're a fabulous team.
Yeah, they're a good team. There's no dominant team in the NFL right now.
In both conferences, there's not.
Yeah.
So do you think the best remedy for the team to get back to a Super Bowl contending team is to replace Patullo? Or do you think it's not to replace Patullo?
Are you talking about right now or like next year?
Right now. That's what everybody in Philly's bitching about.
No,
replace him.
You can't replace it. You can't replace the coordinator right now. That would be a bad move. I think most would agree with that.
Totally.
I think most would agree with that. I don't think
I think that's a sign of panic.
Yeah, man, last time they did that, look, we were 10-2. They replaced the defensive coordinator, and it got worse. So I don't. What I do think that they've turned a blind eye to too quick, and maybe it's because they don't have the guy in the building. I was liking things to hockey because I played hockey. It's like pulling a goalie. Like right now, your offense is stale. Like, remember Dan Campbell just took the play calls. Maybe he was wrong, but like, just let someone else call plays for a game. See if they can spice something up. See if they can get something going. Let Scott Leffler. He called plays at Bowling Green. I know Bowling Green's not the NFL, but like I do think that I'm not saying
he did call plays for Brady.
I'm not saying fire. I'm not saying fire Patullo, but like I don't think they should continually just act like that's an insane question. Like, dude, the offense sucks. It has every week.
Here, Nick, today, everything's great. We're all right.
Oh, I can't listen to Nick anymore.
We're all right.
I didn't even listen to him today. I was working.
Well, no, they were sending me clips, and I'm going like, he says it's all right. Come on, man. Dude, Nick is a victim, and he is a guy who benefits from the type of coordinator they have in the building. If they hire a good one, he gets the roses. What?
What do you mean he's a victim?
He's a victim of who's in the building. Either the guy's good or bad. You know, he's going to get the roses when he's good. He's going to get the shit when he's bad. That to me is a sign he's not a good coach. You know why? Because he's not a problem solver.
It's kind of part of the gig, I guess. It's part of the gig.
Well, I mean, sometimes places lose coordinators and they still go on.
This is my question to you about Nick, because I'm not the biggest Nick guy.
Hey, look at the Buccaneers here for a second. The Buccaneers are not very good right now. They eked out a win against Arizona, and I still think they're limping along. That guy's lost Liam Cohn and Dave Canales in the last 2 years, and I'll tell you what, Baker Mayfield's still putting numbers up.
Yeah, but that team's not as good. But let me ask you this: like, you're hard on Jalen Hurts. You think he's the caboose, and in many ways, you know, he's limited. Okay, like Nick has had him as his quarterback and has had this level of success. Don't you have to like be like, all right, he got to get some credit for that. If it's not going to be the quarterback you give credit to.
Okay, that being said, do you think he's getting the best out of that player? And do you think that the quarterback is regressing? Or do you think the quarterback is getting better? Because when I saw Josh McDaniel for 20 years in New England, Brady got better till the year he was 43 years old. Do you think this guy's getting better since he was 24 years old?
No.
And he had Shane Steichen when he was in 22? Or do you think he's regressing as a quarterback? Has Nick made that an advancement in his career to make it better?
I think what we talked about earlier is what's happened. I think they've identified they're not going to develop a quarterback in the middle of the Super Bowl window.
And they ran Wentz out, and this is the only reason that Jalen Hurts is not being run out of town as fast as Carson Wentz is because he can handle the stress, and he's more of a winner mentality-wise.
Yeah, but
he's built different mentally.
You look at the contract situation. Hurts ain't going anywhere.
No, he's got the
organization by the balls,
by the Kool-Yangs. You're not sending him. You know, I had people over the weekend go, "We got to trade him. We got to get." I'm like, "Wait, what do you mean?"
He's got them by. He's totally got them by the.
Nicole Lynn got that no trade in there, bro.
Please, that man.
You better stop that. This guy's got total control over his destiny.
Yeah,
I told people when they gave him that, I was like, you gave him a no trade, which means you can't do anything to him. He could sit there on the bench if you decided to bench him, collect $51 million and laugh at you. Laugh at you. You have no control of this. Hey, I want to trade you. Okay,
we got to get off. We got to get off Eagles for a second.
I know where you're going. Go ahead.
You go ahead.
College football playoff?
There and Lane Kiffin.
There is no fucking way on the planet I'm going to sit there and fucking have that guy coach me when you quit on me and play me in the playoffs. That would be like this. So you think that the CEO of Coke, if he got the job at Pepsi, you're going to just let him stay in there for the end of the fourth quarter and not try to recruit? He's not going to recruit executives out of Coke and take them to Pepsi with him and all the things and all the secrets and not try to do even any kind of sabotaging that's going on. Let's face it here. Ole Miss is a better program than LSU right now.
No, they're not.
Yeah, well, they're in the college playoff.
All right, right now. But you understand the difference, obviously, between a blue blood there's a tiers of program here.
Today, Ole Miss is better.
Well, they're a better team.
This
is what bothers me, though, about the discourse on Lane Kiffin. I don't disagree with anything you just said. I don't think that's Lane Kiffin's problem. I mean, look at the schedule set up by the NCAA. It's fucking ridiculous. I mean, the early sign window starts in 2 days. So that's why you come to a head like this. Now, I don't disagree with you. Lane shouldn't have asked to stay, but he got offered a massive gig at one of the biggest schools in the world. With a massive pay raise. You know what I mean?
No, it's a $3 million pay raise, which is good.
No, 7 to 13.
It's a 20. No, he went from 9 to 13.
He makes 9 at Ole Miss. I thought it was 7.
Yeah, he makes 9 at He makes 9 at Ole Miss.
9.
What they gave him though at LSU was a $25 million nil every year.
Yeah, I mean, look.
Okay,
LSU,
but wait, let me
choose a better program. Remember, though, you understand this. I mean, you went through this with Miami when you were so pissed off that they couldn't recruit South Florida guys. He's living in the transfer portal, dude. He can't recruit 5-stars.
Okay.
You know.
Here's
And
the
by the way,
problem.
one other thing though. Look at the guy who just got fired from Kentucky, Stoops.
Mark Stoops.
Remember, he almost got the job in A&M in 23.
He was the D coordinator at UM when he got that.
Exactly. You have some flash success at a school like that. If that shit goes in the next couple of years because your program can't compete and out recruit the big dogs, you're going to get fired, and then you're never going to have an opportunity at a big school again. I understand why Lane Kiffin did it this way.
No. I don't have a problem with Lane doing that. I don't. But the coach in the playoff, there's a couple things here with this. Okay. So Lane Kiffin, are you sure you're going to be in a position to be 12 quarters away from winning a national title at LSU? Are you really sure of that? Lane told you this: winning a national championship is not as important to me as the new job at LSU. So, okay, let's put this in perspective there, okay? So the college football playoffs and you taking the LSU job was more important. Do you know in the NFL, if you're tampering with other coaches, you lose first-round draft choices, you lose millions of dollars. College football is off the rails because conferences are allowed to do this shit. And so at the end of the day, Lane takes the LSU job. He leaves the kids in a lurch. Hey, man, I don't blame him for taking it. But if I'm the Ole Miss people, you're nowhere near my program, guy. I think it was handled poorly.
That I agree with. I don't disagree.
I think it was handled poorly by both because once they got an inkling that he was leaving, they should have cut ties as soon as they could.
Yeah, well, apparently he did keep him in the dark a little bit about it, which
He
you know,
did.
but you know, the other funny part about it is it's like, and you're right, you mentioned he's 12 quarters away, but like a lot of this happened because of the expectation he created by bringing Ole Miss to the best period of football they've fucking ever had in the last 5 years. You know what I mean? He set the expectation.
5 years? Try 50 years.
No, I'm saying he's been there for 5
Oh, yeah,
years.
no. Yeah, what I'm saying is, they were good in the 50s, like the 50s.
Literally.
So here's the other thing that's in the bylaws of the playoff. So, I mean, if you lose a coach or you lose coordinators, the committee has a right to drop you in the ratings and rankings. So, I mean, do they drop him out of the tournament? Do they keep him in the tournament? That's penalizing the kids, though.
Yeah, but remember, like, it is, but does another coach bring Trinidad Chambliss, who's a Division II transfer that he picked up in the portal that none of the other Power 5 big schools wanted, and he brings them to where he's brought them? They've won massive games in the SEC this year. They're a one-loss program. Like, that was created by Lane Kiffin. Created by him. I can't just flush that and act like, okay, you know, Ole Miss would have been there if it wasn't for Lane. Now, you're right. But I think instead of him saying, in your eyes, you said he thinks the LSU job is more important than 12 quarters away, which you're right about. I just don't think he thinks he was going to win with Ole Miss.
Okay.
I think more of it shows
lack of if you're recruiting me, a 4-star kid, I'm not going to Oxford.
I'm not a huge fan of the fit, by the way.
Listen,
I think he's going to be very successful. I'm not a big fan.
Well, guess what? He got to be north of 10 wins. You know, Alex Golish asked me a question. You know, we were texting back and forth when he took the Auburn job. He goes like this. I go, bro, the problem with Auburn's job, you know what it is? I told Alex Golish this last night. I really like the guy. He was on my Tampa show a bunch of times. I got his cell phone. We're friends. He goes, what do you – and I go, congratulations. And he goes, what do you make of it? I go, remember something. The Auburn expectations are Alabama expectations. If you win 9-10 ball games, Gus Malzahn won 9 games there, and for like this guy was in the national championship game in 13 and lost. They were a great program with him. 9 wins wasn't good enough at Auburn. I go, if you win 9-10 games at Auburn, you're going to get fired because the standard is Alabama.
Yeah, but remember, I think he just changed the standard at Ole Miss. That's the point. Like, that's why I brought up Stoops at Kentucky.
You really well, the standard is this. It's 10 wins or more, or you're going to lose your job.
I know, but isn't that going to be the new standard now at Ole Miss? Like, and that's my point. It's harder to sustain success at a school like Ole Miss, where you set the bar high, and then you cannot recruit the top 5-star recruits.
Yeah, but
you got to live in the transfer portal.
But 11 wins at Ole Miss That's first time in school history. 10 wins is normal at LSU. Brian Kelly was averaging 10 wins. Hey, you want to hear something about this? One last thing on this playoff. You ready for this one? So on the playoff, there's a chance you could have Duke and Tulane in the college football playoff.
That'd be so stupid. Didn't Tulane coach just go to Florida?
Yeah, John Summerall. Yeah. You know what John Morgan said about him? Bottom of the barrel hire.
Yeah, it is. Although I kind of like him. He's got that.
I don't think you can call a guy a bottom of the barrel hire.
I know what he means. I mean, there's big fish out there that people want,
Let me do it.
But I heard the AD was kind of brushed off Lane Kiffin at first, rubbed him the wrong way.
No, here's what happened.
He didn't want to.
They had Lane Kiffin last year. They could have hired him last year. Lane, everybody, they were all in line to hire him. Scott Strickland, he did not want to hire last year, so he let Napier. Remember, Napier won some games at the end.
Yep.
The football team back.
They were 10-3, is that right? Or 10
like 9-4, I think it was.
I thought they had double digits.
He ended up coming back, and then the AD kept him and brought him back. Lane was signed, sealed, and delivered to go to Florida last year. I think Lane took it out on him and said, "Fuck that! You had me last year. Now you're not getting me." Let me do a 30.
All right, good.
All right, folks. Don't forget our great friends at Morgan & Morgan, the #1 injury law firm in all of America for a reason. You know what that is? It's because they win. Families across this great country of ours, when they hire Morgan & Morgan and they go to battle for you and your family, make sure you understand this. They don't get paid unless you win. That's as simple as that. How about that, right? They don't get paid unless you win. Do me a favor, folks. It'll be the easiest decision. If you're ever hurt at work or anywhere, contact my friends, John Morgan and Ultima Morgan at Morgan & Morgan at forthepeople.com/big sales or pound love 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sales or pound love 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sales sent you.
There's a reason Detective Johnson is the gossip king.
Oh, did you hear? Jackie and Tom
are getting a divorce? Sad.
Well, I heard that Ashley
Had work done on her face? Yeah, oof.
Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Injured? With over $25 billion recovered for our clients, there's a reason to go big.
Bathroom? Okay.
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Oh, okay.
Big Sales back here, man. I just put out and I just tweeted out, Hurts is a caboose. People are just all over my social media right now because they're moaning about the guy. And I love, that's my favorite line. Jalen Hurts is a caboose.
Adam Schefter just tweeted, the New Jersey home of Eagles offensive coordinator Kevin Petullo was vandalized with eggs early Saturday morning, according to the Moorestown Police Department.
Come on, man. Come on.
And then you got a dickhead in the comments. Dickhead in the comments says, love this move by Eagles fans. People
Dude, there's kids in the house.
This fan base, there's a lot of sick fucks.
That is, wait a minute. Those are the Jalenite fans. Those aren't Eagle fans.
Yeah, but nah, there's a lot of dumbass Eagle fans too. I know you don't want to say that, but I'll say that. I don't give a shit. I grew up here in this area. I don't get it. A lot of Eagles fans are total, complete, utter assholes. Don't care.
That's so
and that's evidence of it right there. Man. I mean, they're going to a guy's house. He's got a daughter and a son in the home and a wife. You come to my house, I don't feel bad for you. What happens to you next if you go to Kevin Petullo's home?
Right.
You don't go to a man's home where his wife and his kids are. I don't give a fuck what the guy did.
Don't do that.
I no longer feel bad for whatever that is.
That's not.
I no longer feel bad. All right,
we got some supers. We got some supers.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Nunya says, you let J-Mac shut up, Nunya. CT says, we all forgot this is supposed to be a down year from Howie's point of view. I think we just got by with some luck this year, but the NFC is still open. The NFC is definitely still open.
Wide open. They're in the room. Absolutely, they're in the room. I mean, I think every team over the weekend, isn't it funny? I like Johnny Mac's comment. Hey, man, when the Eagles don't play, they win. I think they won Sunday.
Yeah, it's true. Pumper says, our defense would not be so gassed if Jalen Hurts was not shitwater, but he's still at the Met Gala.
Oh my
You ain't wrong
God.
about the premise of the offense got to be better.
155 plays in 2 games on a short work week. What do you think?
Here's Marshall. That's why Tank looks more explosive. He's hitting the holes. Barkley is searching for the easy lane. Yeah, it could be
He
true,
is looking
Marshall.
for the easy lane. That's what Eric Dickerson said.
Yeah. Instead of just taking that rock and running it. Go
I'm
get your yards,
gonna
man.
get ED on. I'm going to get ED on.
That'd be great.
One of his
Christopher
greatest
says,
runners.
Jalen pole riders can't accept the truth. Limited.
Oh my God, man. I tell
Here's
you.
Lucius the show. That report on Hurts seems like another hit piece by the organization. The front office sees him as the only piece that can survive the criticism. Yeah, I don't see it the same.
I don't see it that way either. No way. No way.
I don't agree with either. Lucius, I appreciate it. I don't agree with either part of your super chat, but I'll just say this. If the first sentence of your super chat is correct, that it was another hit piece on Hurts by the organization, it wasn't because they think he can survive the criticism. Okay. If they are the ones that are putting this stuff out because they want people to know Hurts is the bigger problem, if that is happening, it's not because they think he can handle the criticism better. That is not why they would be doing that. Trust me when I tell you, that is not what they're doing there.
Absolutely, I agree.
Jeffrey Lurie would have to ease the blow if they're not going to give him an extension or they're not going to pay him or they're going to trade.
No way. I'm with you. I don't buy that.
Here's Marshall again. Hurts said he's going to run this offense like he wants to in a presser. Yes, he did say that.
Okay, well then.
People conveniently, well, he's agreeing with what we were saying.
Yeah, well, Marshall. That's why it's a limited playbook. Hurts is telling you it's a limited playbook. I want it that way. Is he not?
Here's E-Train. If you don't pay attention to history, it will repeat itself. Big Nick went inside and hired his boy. 23 all over again. A little different, but similar. That's still similar.
You got better coaches on defense. It's the only way. The only reason why you're not losing consecutive games is because you got great coaches on defense. That's the only reason. You have limited coaches outside of Stoutland on your offensive coaching staff. You got a college guy coaching the quarterback. You got like a first-year play caller, and then you got Nick, who's a passing coordinator.
They are more experienced than people think. Jason Michael's been around for a long time. Nick Sirianni's been around for.
But not for that kind of skill set quarterback.
Well, that's where you're right. None of them fit this skill set. But here's the other thing: like, if you want to hire a coordinator perfect for that skill set, where you got to go? College?
No, I go to the Rams. I go, who are your assistant coaches? I go to the 40. I go to the
Rams.
Yeah, like who's your passing coordinator in Los Angeles? Hire his ass as a coordinator.
Wait. Do you think the Eagles are going to run?
No. If you want a passing coordinator, I'm going to passing teams.
I was more saying RPO. If you want a guy that can.
No. Then I'm going Buffalo in Baltimore
because they ain't running the Rams offense with.
Are you kidding me?
Here's Catch. Glad to hear Xander doesn't eat the manure from police horses. I don't even know what that means.
No idea.
I do appreciate the $20, so I'd like to know what it means. But
thank you. Yeah.
The hell are you talking about, Catch?
Do you really want to know what he's saying? I don't.
I don't, but I appreciate the point.
I do.
Catch. All right, we got them all.
All right, man. All right. Big Z. This is kind of like a little buy here for them guys, right?
Well, you got mini buy.
Are you feeling cool for this game Monday night?
I mean, I feel like it's going to be close.
On the road, too.
Yeah,
at SoFi.
On the road. I think you got a little bit of a break here, which seems to help the Eagles, like when they have a little more time off.
I think more shit comes out when you got a little more time.
Yeah, but the team plays better.
Yeah.
Remember, when they collapsed to the Giants, it was on a short week, too.
Yeah.
And on a second half collapse versus the Broncos. Very similar. Cowboys second half collapse. Destroyed by the Bears.
I'll tell you what.
Also, Ben Johnson is the truth, bro.
God forbid, can he coordinate and scheme up run plays?
And he's doing the other. It looks to me like he's doing the other stuff.
But when he dropped the shirt off and he was in the locker room, man, was that
not? He's got them Bulls fired up, man. That's what you got to do to change a culture, man.
Hey, how about Jim Harbaugh versus Vic? That's going to be another one of them good ones.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Jim Harbaugh guy, but
I am. That guy wins everywhere.
I know you are. You have been all year.
Well, they're in the playoff mix.
Yeah, they're 8-4. They're 8-4.
You think the Chargers are better with him, or do you think it with Brandon Staley?
The
mean,
Chargers
Brandon-
are better with him. Brandon, I mean, that's like that's. I mean, Brandon's failure.
That's like Rich Kotai.
Yeah, come on, bro. Come on.
All right,
All right,
Big Z,
so
I
good stuff.
appreciate
We'll
you,
wrap it up.
brother.
I'll talk to you tomorrow.
You got it. Make sure you check out Xander on Birds 365 in the morning. Appreciate all of you guys. Do me a favor. Please hit that like button on the way out the door. Till tomorrow, 2 to 6. Big Joe, Big Z, thank you. And we'll see you on the flip side.